Hello, everybody. This is Paul Point. I'm super excited to talk to you about how we can use AI to build beautiful websites and also have AI design entire sections of our website. So let me actually share my screen here real quick. Can everybody see my screen? Okay, let me know in the chat box, please, if you can see my screen. Okay. So all I'm going to be showing you right now, and I have our project manager here as well, Ali. He's also been working with you guys and gals here as well. Ali, say hi because we're going to jump right in, folks. Here, okay? It's going to be
Hey,
super, super
hey
exciting.
everyone. Hopefully everybody's having fun. You're all set. You've got your pen and paper ready or your notepad. So just want to say hello to everybody. So let us know in the chat box while we're just letting people arrive. Where are you tuning in from? That would be nice to know where everyone's from. And then we can actually get this party started and we'll jump straight into it. Because I know a lot of, everyone is excited and anticipating. We're going to have a really good series session today. There's a lot of stuff. I don't want to say too much because I want Paul to surprise you on what's going to be coming, but it's going to knock your socks off. So make sure if you are wearing socks, take them off because they're going to be blown off. So we've got Eric from Austria, we've got Texas in the house. Where are you tuning in from? Just let us know. We've got Candy coming in, we've got Chicago in the house, got Houston, Oklahoma, Northern California. So you can see, especially with this group, such a huge, vibrant community of people that are connected,
All right,
even
all right.
within the
We're
group.
ready right now, Ali. Let's
Well,
go. Let's go.
okay,
We want to show the
fantastic.
cool
Let's go.
stuff, right? Because we'll do the pleasantry, so to speak, later, right? Like we say in the beginning, right? All right. So, folks, right? This is the cool thing, right? So, first of all, when you go into an application, you want to build a website. The main thing is you just stare at a blank screen and you don't know what to do. So, with this, check this out, okay? With AI, let's say I want to build a website and actually sell it to a client, right? So, I'm just going to click a workspace. So, this could be basically like a business I'm working with. I just put one right here. AI is selling like, hey, I'm your AI design partner. What do you want to create? So recently I was just talking to a barber shop and barber shop was saying, hey, can you create me a page, right? And then a website basically, right? So I just said, okay, barbershop. I'm gonna create a website for a barbershop. And what's the name? Okay. And it was in Miami, right? So I put Miami barbershop, right? Upscale, like I'd say upscale barber shop, right? It's kind of grayed out, but it doesn't really matter. So then I said I want to create an upscale barbershop for that. And what is the site about? And it asks you the language. Remember I told you we are adding a new language every day. Right now it supports 40 plus languages, pretty much every language you can imagine that's popular, it's out there. And then so here I want to put like basically a barber shop. So it's basically an upscale barber shop for men, right? Shop for men. Okay, like next. So this is specifically that. It's not like a unisex kind of thing. So it's specifically upscale. They have like services specifically for beard and like that kind of thing, right? So then it says, I have a few suggestions. The AI is talking to me, right? And then it says, the ultimate guide to upscale barbershops for men. I don't want that. The AI sometimes makes stuff like this up, right? I want to talk about specifically upscale barbershop in Miami, focused on focus for men, right? The only men, right? And then it says experience the artist upscale options for men. I'm just gonna say here, these are basically the menus on the top, right? Because we're building the entire page, entire website, so to speak, right? And then it says elevate yourself, find the best ups. Like I'll just say, right, why need a barber shop only for men? Men, right? So I'm just trying to say just so you understand. We'll do more examples. You can post in the chat box. I'll show you. So it's starting the building process right now. Okay. So it's going to take about 60 seconds roughly. Okay. Although it says 14, 28, all that stuff, it takes 60 seconds. Now here behind the scenes, what's happening? Okay. And I want to make sure you folks understand what's happening. Okay. Because sometimes you got to see it to believe it, right? All right. So behind the scenes, what's happening is it is actually getting all the text. Okay. Imagine you got the text, right? The text is being written down, the images, basically all that stuff you can imagine, all the layouts, the design elements, everything you can imagine is being done right now behind the scenes. Now, what that means though is, yes, it's simplicity, it fills up the whole page, the website, all that good stuff is done, design elements, I get it, but it's also going to give us a lot of customization elements behind the scenes. So now, when we are trying to build a website, there are two components always that matters, right? The copywriting and the design. What do we mean by that? Copywriting means the text that's going to be on the page, The design basically means that it is beautiful looking, right? Because when people come to a website, generally those are the two things you look for, right? What does it say? Okay, there you go, it's done. I'm just click select theme here. What do we want? Let's say one of the themes, and the theme is just like an example, by the way, right? Because at the end of the day, the AI builds everything. So I like this one, this one right here. I'll just click on continue, and there you go. It's building the entire website for me right in front of my eyes, right? Took me what, 60 seconds, right? Now, here's the thing, it's doing the whole thing. Okay, it's writing the copy for me, right? Meaning what that means is writing all the text, the descriptions, the images, the layouts, all that kind of stuff while I'm speaking with you. Right, I see both my hands are here. I'm not even typing anything, just so you know. It's doing everything on the fly right now. See, I have my hands up. Okay, basically, so isn't that cool? So that means it's thinking on its own and is writing everything on the fly. And here's the best part, it is actually doing stuff based upon experience, because AI has already studied all the barbershop websites in the planet, all the pain points people have. Look at that, luxury beard trim and shaping, all the services that barbershops would have, and it's basically putting all the images together, all that good stuff. Okay, now the beauty is this can be done in all the 40 plus languages I mentioned. So it can be done in Spanish, you can imagine Polish, it can be done in Japanese, Chinese, whatever, right? Mandarin, simplified, Cantonese, you get the point, right? So it does all this work for us while I'm actually talking with you. And the beauty here is that, let's say, okay, this is the page, right? All sounds great, okay, sure, but, right? I basically want to edit this. This is where the customization elements come in, right? You have an AI assistant that can create categories and all that. But what I wanted to show you in particular is, let's say this one, upscale barbershop in Miami focused on men, right? So let's just say I just wanted, for example, to kind of edit the text element, right? I can just select any of the elements here or just that area here like so. And you see this little thing called AI rewrite. I just click on it and it's going to rewrite the entire text descriptions and all that stuff in a more copywriting manner on its own, meaning it's like a professional copywriter wrote it. Look at this. Miami's premier barbering destination for men. Look at this one. Upscale barbershop in Miami focused on men. But I'm not happy. I just don't want text. I want the whole layout to be changed. I'm not happy with the images here. I just want the whole thing to be done, right? Okay, look at this. Watch the magic happen here, okay? So there is a little toggle here. You see this little thing here where you can actually redesign the entire section itself. So click on this and I'm going to click on this, right? Which is basically behind the scenes. What it's doing is it's going to try and create a new layout for us. It's going to change every single image here to something unique. Because, you know, oftentimes when you're demonstrating to clients, right, and you're building a website, you want to show them like this, right? Hey, you know, let me click one button here and then I'm going to show you how to change it, right? And they will say, look, you know, the images are good, but can you also show me two different layout styles, right? And then behind the scenes, the app is actually doing the thinking for you. Now, here's where it gets really exciting, okay? It actually, behind the scenes, what it's doing, it's changing the layout. In many cases, the fonts. In many cases, it's also thinking to see how can I display it better, considering the earlier sections in the website, right? Because it's in the middle of the page, right? How do we do that? There we go. Isn't that awesome? Check this out. Check this out. This was the earlier one, okay? Let's watch this carefully. In the earlier one, you had the seats here. Then you had this barber laughing here. And then you had this person right here. This was what I did. Now, check this out. I have that one button. Check this out. I changed it. This is somebody else, right? And here we go. Now, the other cool part, okay, is that you see how it kept the text, right? Okay, you see how it kept the text? There's also an option for you where basically you can just select it and say, look, I want you to also change the text elements and make it completely unique, because you want both choices, right? Sometimes you just want to change the layout style, right? Sometimes you want to change just the text elements. Sometimes you only want images. You can just click one button and do so. The other cool thing is at any point, so let's say this area right here, as you can see here, these elements here, like any of these elements that you see here, like so, I selected the element. You see that green selection points like those, right? Selected and all that. You can even, at any point, click on that AI rewrite of the text, and it will now keep these images, and it will change the text for you. So it'll think on its own and say like, okay, I'm going to keep the elements, and there we go, right? You see this? masterful craftsmanship. Before it was expert barbers, right? Unparalleled style. Before it was luxurious ambience. Tailored services. Now it's complete grooming experience. You see what I'm saying? So in just one button, you can do all this stuff. Isn't that exciting? Like that should give you a lot of ideas, right? And as I mentioned before, if you want the whole thing changed, right? Like you want the text to be changed, the images to be changed, you can do that too. Okay? That's just a few clicks. That's it. Like maybe a couple of clicks, right? And here's the thing. Sometimes, right, we have different elements here. Like say, if I scroll down, let me go to the other element, like this one right here, right? So this one is a lot of stuff here. Watch this: luxury amenities, then personalized service. I select the entire block, right? What we like to call the entire element, right? So like this whole thing here that I've highlighted. Well, you can do that too. So now if I click here, and then you see this AI rewrite will rewrite the whole text for us, meaning all the elements here. AI redesign will also do the images for us. And there's another option as well where you can do both text and images, up to you. You can pick and choose if you want to do that, because sometimes you want to keep the text, sometimes you want to keep the images, right? Or you want them both, you can check that too, right? Anyway, click on this AI redesign. What it's doing behind the scenes is it's playing around with the layout. It's trying to see, okay, there was a black background. Should I keep that? And it's also trying to keep the congruency, because, you know, a lot of the websites out there have branding, right? Like you have a logo, you want to keep those elements there, right? That's why it's keeping the brand on point. You see this? But you can also change elements. Like you want to change the background, you can do that, right? And we also have a randomizer, right? Which is with AI. So what that will do is it will also create the background color and change it automatically, okay? So that is pretty cool too, but sometimes you may like it, not like it. But anyway, let's say you wanted to make it gray in color, you can do that. You want to make it green, you can do that. You see what I'm saying? Like this, right? You can play around with it. But check the difference here, right? Before, again, you see there's this chair here. There's this guy here with, I don't know, some kind of a blade, right? And then there's this guy right here with a towel on, right? Now check this out. Like it's a completely unique design set, right? Look at this guy. Right? Personalized service. And look at this, right? Okay. Men could be even kids, so in this particular case, right? So you see this, right? So pretty cool, right? And you can do that across all elements, right? So like if I want to change this entire element, I can play around with it. Why do we need a barbershop only for men? Redesign that. It will change the pictures and all that kind of stuff. You want to change the text as well. It will change that all in one click. Isn't that exciting? So that means when it does elements for us, we can not only get the elements designed automatically, we can add elements, remove elements, which I'll show you in just a second, but with just one click, you can also get those elements completely redesigned with AI. So that means you don't have to be a designer, you don't have to be a master coder, you don't even have to be a very smart, intelligent copywriter. You know what I mean? With a lot of experience. It's doing all that stuff behind the scenes. And this is all real time, by the way, you see? So there you go. See this? It's generated in more cartoony style if that's something that you want. And if you're not happy, you can do another set, right? The point I'm making is that it's all doing it on the fly. And if I want this right here, right? If I wanted to change any element here, the text, I just say AI rewrite, and it's going to change that text element for us to whatever we desire. And you can play around with it, move things up, down, everywhere, right? And similarly, if you think about it, right? The other part is, which I'm going to show you right now. So this is right here, right? If you see here, right? Why need a barbershop only for men? And check this out. Why choose a men's only barbershop? Okay. So if you like that, just delete this entire element, right? You can just delete this whole element and you can be good to go as well. So you can play around with it. What you don't like, what you like, keep it. You get the point, right? If you don't like anything, you can undo, redo. All that stuff is basic stuff, right? But what I wanted to show you is you see that little plus icon, right? Below everything, right? See this right here? So if I click add here, okay, so here you can add headings and icons and all that kind of stuff. Okay, that you already know, right? But you can also, as you can see here, right, you can add headlines like these, photos and elements and stuff like that, right? So like stuff like this, like if you press that, it's gonna do this, right? View, destinations, whatever, and you can rewrite this text as well, obviously. But here, check this out, right? You see sections, you see this? A section like this, right? Or section like this, or section like this, okay, right? So let's say we have meet our team, okay? So meet our team, right? So remember before, you could even go here and say you can add elements with the AI image designer, which it designed and it gave us these images in the media library for us, right? So we can say men's, I'll put here advanced, men's barber shop, zoomed in beard trimming, right? You can just type whatever you want, right? So what do you want? Photo, cartoon, 3D, whatever, vintage, sketch, mock-up, whatever, right? You can even put surreal if you want to. I don't, other stuff is all optional. You can click create. So now what it's doing behind the scenes, that it's actually creating that image for us, right? In different dimensions. You can play around with it. You see this one right here? I want to do another set. I can click create and I can use this. You got that customization option, right? So basically what you can do is that when you put the images here, you can put what images you like, obviously, and you can select them, right? So for example, right, like I can go in and I like this image. I'll replace that image with this, right? And then the other image as well that is being generated, I can replace that with that image, right, which is being generated right now. And then let's say I want to use this particular image, let's say hypothetically here, let's say this one right here, right? And then I wanted to change this image to this one, let's say, right? So this is our team, right? Now same thing, you can do this AI redesign, right? And it will change all the images, keeping the existing style in mind and also keeping the existing layout in mind. And as I mentioned, if you want to change the text, elements, and even the layouts as well, that is also an option that is available for you as well. So click on this one right here, AI redesign. It's gonna take a few seconds because behind the scenes AI is thinking, okay, what layout do I think about? How do I keep the branding on point? Because I don't want to change the color theme too much, right? How do I basically change the images, but not too much where it's not a barbershop one, it's something else completely now, right? It has to know all that context, right? And well, it's doing all that for us. You see this? So it can do all these cool things. And at any point, right? Let's say you don't like anything, right? You can always play around with it. Like you can go individually and make changes, right? Individually, you can rewrite things. Let's say, for example, like this one right here, right? Individually, you can check some elements and rewrite it like this by selecting that point and write it. Like individually, you can go and pretty much you have that options, right? Like you see, at any point in time, you can pick any element, like select it, and you can rewrite this. So you see this AI rewrite, and it will rewrite those elements as well. And that's also based on the content categories that we are picking, right? So meaning you see these blocks that we have. So what I'm trying to get at here ultimately is that imagine you can show all these variations in just a few seconds to your clients, right? And you can, this is how you sell it, right? Visually demonstrating how quickly you can show 4 or 5 variations of what you're trying to do. You can say like, hey, in the website, I put this variation, which one do you like? And you can come and you can pick what you like. See this one right here, I'll remove this one. Boom, it's done, it's removed. If I don't want this, I want to remove this, click remove, and now I'm done with these. You see what I'm saying? In one button. And then the other thing is people always, before, right, when it comes to website design, one of the biggest problems was, hey, you know, you're saying sections here, right? I want 1,000 sections here, right? Because I want more options. The problem is, first of all, to scroll down, it'll take you hours just to go through the one you like. Secondly, the problem is that most of the time these sections, if they're pre-built or pre-built templates or whatever, they are not customizable in a sense that it was made for, say, a use case like a physical product, like a bottle or something, or perfume bottle. It were not set for a barbershop, let's say, right? But because of the fact that no matter what you pick, right? Look, whatever you pick, right? And like say any category, and then you can redesign the text, the images, the layout itself in just one button. It's almost like you're creating your own design elements right out of the gate. And if you like anything, say like you like one of these, right? You can right click, save. You see that says save section style. You can save it and then you can redesign that same section style. What that means in other words is you're duplicating the style element, so then you can come and redo different elements. So because sometimes what happens is you work really hard and you got the right kind of borders, you got the right images. By clicking that button, right, you save that section style, meaning you like this header style or whatever, you like this section style, whatever, you can save it and then redesign it. It'll duplicate it basically for you. And then now you can have different text on it and stuff like that, right? So does that make sense? Like, can you type in the chat box? Like I'm seeing Frank is telling here, right here. Okay, do you get what I'm trying to explain? How powerful something like this is? Yeah, let me know. Because this is basically what I'm trying to get at, okay? One of the biggest problems, I've built thousands of websites. I built websites when I was 16 years old, right? The problem always was trying to get things like in a way where I did something where I built like a element, like I built this area, right? It took me maybe 5 minutes to do so. but I want to go change this area. I don't like this text, wanted to be changed slightly, but I can't think creatively to do so. I want to change these elements. Hey, look, just change the whole thing, right? Give me another variation, right? Well, just by clicking this one button, right, you can do that exact setup I just mentioned, right? And you have a granular level. You can do just the text, AI, right? Just the images, and you can also do mix of both images and text. Okay, that's a little bit more advanced feature because sometimes, right, maybe you don't want the text to be changed, or sometimes you only want the images changed, right? But you got that choice as well if you want to do it, right? And this means speed is one thing, customization is one thing, flexibility is the other, obviously. But the other great benefit you get from this with ClickSize.ai, right, is the fact that is the ability, right, for you to create your own templates, so to speak, with just a few clicks. Does that make sense? You don't have to rely on templates. I've seen it where, sometimes people download themes for WordPress. This is not WordPress based, but I'm just saying, or they'll download themes for something else, and then that theme is not compatible with this version or that version. Sometimes you like certain design elements, you want to port it over somewhere else, that code doesn't work, the dependencies don't work, right? All this kind of mumbo jumbo stuff which irritates you. Here instead, what if you could just build your own templates with these blocks, right? These little content blocks, we like to call them, where literally, the world is your canvas, so to speak, right? You can do it to your heart's desire effectively, and you're good to go. Isn't that awesome? Just think about it, right? Super, super powerful, right? As you can imagine. And that is where the magic is, right? Because sometimes what happens is you spent a lot of time and you added animations and effects and stuff. You can reuse those and it will change the images, but keep the animation intact, for example, right? Stuff like that, which little details, but does that make sense, right? That is how you can play around with it. And at any point, like Alan was asking, what about a photo of actually inside of a barbershop? Good question. So you can go in, search. If the barbershop gives you an image, you can upload the images here. So it's unique to that. It will automatically be resized. Or you can go in and you can get something similar to that barbershop. Let's say this is one I'm looking for, right? Boom, I can do that. And it's resized automatically to fit this framework, right? Similarly, let's say it was like another set of framework, like let's say like something like this, or let's say a circular in nature, which is where that teams section was, right? Like you see the edges here. Watch this. Look at the edges here. Like here, the edges are pretty curved edges, right? It's not square. It will create that curved edge regardless of what image you pick. So let's say you go here, pick this. You see that? It put the curved edges, right? That's the cool thing. And no matter what image, like here, like you see this is circular. Watch this, right? Remember the design element is circular in nature. The biggest headache is, trying to fit that image into that circular thing because you liked it, right? Click on it, right? So all you got to do, click on it. Again, go search. And let's say I want to put this one. Boom. You see that? It became circular. Let's say I want to change this one, right? And I'll pick some random one here. Let's see. I'll put the coffee thing. See this? How it's circle? So that's how we're doing the stylistic elements. No matter what you do, automatically it will pick. And here's the thing. In the advanced setup, you see how we have like different elements here, like autumn and stuff. This is one of the things, right? Where sometimes, like you see this element, right? You see this is purple in nature, right? Sometimes some logos and some companies have branding. So you can do that, like where you can pick this instead of being a genius at color things. You see burgundy and blue. So I can pick burgundy and blue, right? And then I can do framing, which is you want to close up. Okay, I'll take a close up. And you remember you said like if you wanted to be cinematic or whatever. So let's say cinematic, right? I can even do it where, so men's barber shop, okay, with a sign that says barber shop, let's say, right? The text, right? Click create. And then basically it will create that panning, right, of it. See this right here? And then you can play around with it to get it to how you want, right? So text that sign with text that says barber shop, right? You can play around with it, obviously, right? And then click create. So it will create different styles for you. So you see outside, that was the question, right? Can I do it and stuff? And all this, by the way, while this is getting done, is created by this platform, right? Called ClickSize.ai. Isn't that awesome? And if I like this, I can pick this. You see this? And you can play around with it and it will adjust elements and stuff like that, like so. So you can do this for any market, okay? It doesn't have to be barbershop. I'm just trying to show you 'cause it's more a little bit more visual in nature, right? So that you can see it. But that is a game changer when it comes to web design, right? Because oftentimes, right, people get fixated about like elements like SEO. People get fixated about elements like CSS, HTML. At the end of the day, right, it's a bunch of text, bunch of images, and a bunch of code that people will usually come and browse around, right? And that's what we are aiming for. And that is simplified, meaning what would take a week or 2 weeks, you can do now in a few minutes, in some cases in 60 seconds, depending on the complexity of the website. That alone, okay, will speed up the workflow, right? Think of it this way, right? To build a website like this by hand, right, it's going to take a week because I'll tell you why. Because first of all, you got to find the images, you got to find the theme elements, you got to find like how the themes will interact with each other, right? Even if you're using a template. Now the other problem is, well, templates are very static in nature, right? You want to edit an element or you want to move things around. Oftentimes you got to do some coding, right? Let's say, for example, this image, let's say, right, it has this sizing, right? The problem is if you're going to, even if you use a template, right, and you want to change this, right, you want to upload your own background or whatever, and you can select a background or whatever. So the problem becomes, right, sizing, right? How do we do? Like you say this one right here. See, it fit perfectly within that size. You see that? So that way you don't have to worry about sizing, you don't have to worry about resizing it, all that mumbo jumbo stuff. So this is the reason why AI will move away from templates, build its own templates, but more importantly, give you complete flexibility. It's like, you know, once you were using a keyboard to type, you never needed a typewriter, right? And once you had a mobile phone while traveling, you didn't need a laptop, right? And so you got to understand that technologies come like these where the old way of doing it is kind of dead because it's dramatically, enormously powerful. Like nothing else out there, right? And so on clickstyles.ai/go, if you go to that page, you can try out this whole technology for just 7 days if you haven't already for free, right? No risk, nothing. Try it out, build websites, and do you can create right now any amount of websites you desire. If you want to actually have custom domains, or let's say you're managing an entire website with about us, contact us, whatever, for a barbershop in particular, let's say, right? You can actually manage 500 businesses, right, or 500 organizations, no matter how big or small they are, and underneath that, unlimited pages and unlimited traffic, all that kind of stuff. And it's so simple, right? Because see, it's like this, right? You can rely on these content blocks, which is pretty standard. I could put 5,000 of it. What difference does it make? You could be scrolling down for hours. Or what if you could just do at any point in time, right? Resize any of these elements, right? Like rewrite this. Like, I don't like this text. Rewrite it for me. Boom. You see this? Discover the art of modern grooming, right? Then I can just say, okay, I want to change this element. Boom. There we go. I have this new one right here, right? And so simple, one click, everything is done. Keeps the entire design element intact, right? It's like, it sounds simple, but imagine how difficult it is behind the scenes to make it this simple, right? Like at any point, like you wanted to go to settings and you want to preview this, right? Go to settings and click live preview, like so. You see this, you can preview this, how it would appear, all the animations. You can toggle around, like in mobile devices, it looks like this. See this? So you can play around with it with this live preview. You don't even have to go publish or go some other toggle. You can just check how all the stuff that you're doing in real time like this, right? And you can reload if you made a change to see the preview in real time. Isn't that amazing? Pretty cool, right? Now, let me ask you one question, okay? If I showed you today, me and Ali will show you where to find clients, right? Big ticket clients will buy this kind of a website. They'll pay you money for it, right? Right now, the going rate is about $500 to $800 for one page of a website, okay? One page. So if that is something that will show you where to get clients and where do you sell these websites, who do you sell it to, how much, all that information, and you give you the clients. Do you see yourself being able to, let's say we give you 500 barber clients, right? Barbershops, right? For men in particular, like this one. Do you see yourself where you can at least build it for them if they ask you? Let me know in the chat box, because that's is most critical thing that I want to know from you. Please let me know in the chat box. Yes. Would you be able to? Like, let's say I gave you 500 barbershops who need a website, or they need websites to be modified, or they're sick of paying like thousands of dollars every month for a website designer to handle and manage and stuff like that, with web hosting and all that, which is all included here, right? If we gave you the clients today, Would you be able to do this exact same process, make some small changes here and there, right? Would you be able to do that? Yeah. I see Joe saying yes. Okay. I see John saying yes. Okay. Frank is saying yes. Nimrod saying yes. Okay. Yes, of course. Yes. Sonia saying yes. Francisco saying yes. Okay. Perfect. See, this is the key thing. Okay. Why am I asking you to do this? Just not for fun, right? Why I'm trying to tell you this is oftentimes, right, when it comes to something like web design, right? When it comes to something like video, right? When it comes to some of these things, right? It's not what I set the pricing, it's what the marketplace sets it as, right? So like I didn't invent how much to price a website, it's what the marketplace pays for it, right? So similarly, when we are trying to plan things out for you, right? Like to make simple stuff, like if you're sitting over my shoulder right now, okay, and you're watching me do this stuff, right? So let's say you're watching me do this stuff and teach you how to do this stuff, right? And I've shown this to people around the world with many different things over the years, right? Over the last decade. The number one issue is it sounds good. You can do it, Paul. I cannot do it. It's just beyond my scope, right? And that's I understand. Like if I open up, right? So if we open up Dreamweaver, right? Like I have Dreamweaver, I've used it 10, 15 years ago. Like I open it up all the time and I show an example. Like this is Dreamweaver, okay? So like to build like a stupid page, right? It's like this was like a customer training masterclass page, right? Look how ugly this thing looks. And I have to play around with it. Like even somebody who kind of knows basic HTML, CSS, I struggle. Like I wanted to change this blue thing. I have to go to the code and change it. And you know what? The problem here is that even if I can do it, it takes a long time to learn. I got to go and find the RGB color code. I got to do all this stuff. And I gave up halfway through, right? And here's the bigger problem, right? You go into the source code and have to go check out some of these things, like how it works. Look at this. I don't even understand what this means, like half the time. It says cursor width. What does that mean? It says something cursor. I have no clue what that is, right? And people look at this thing and then they get confused and they give up. And I've dealt with it. Like I would show, like many years ago, as everybody knows, right? My story is like I started ranking websites on Google very quickly because I figured out the algorithm of Google, right? So then, even though I told, look, this is the step-by-step way that I build a website. I go in and I put the title here, I put description here, and then this is how I upload to FTP. This is how I do it to make it mobile compatible. And I sit for 2 hours explaining them over the shoulder. They say, you could do it, I can't do it, right? And I don't blame anybody, right? Because it's hard. This stuff is not easy and it's frustrating because like if I change this thing like here, right? Like from 18 to whatever, 188 and I made a mistake, right? Like something like this, like if I did something like this, I made a mistake in one step, right? The whole thing falls apart. Like when you're trying to later on change stuff, it makes the whole mess of it, right? And this is the problem, right? And the problem was solved in a way slightly by templates, right? People would give templates. But then the problem with templates is if it breaks in the middle, it's done, right? So what I'm trying to tell you here is that for the first time, I'm so the frustration of where everybody knows every business needs a website. Everybody knows that at the end of the day, design and the text that you put, right, matters more than actually, if you will, knowledge of coding or everything, right? Everybody knows that. The problem though is last step, right? Trying to put together something that looks beautiful, right? Nobody has the patience to go learn CSS, HTML, JavaScript, and all that kind of stuff. Even though, right? Like even though if I showed you, this is the HTML, it's so clean, okay? This is the headline, right? This is the area where you see headline number 1, right? The code is so clean, you can understand it. Even if I show you this, if you make a small mistake, or if somebody comes and says, look, I don't want this style. Like you said, 3 images here. Can you give me 1 image instead, or 2 images, or change the styling of the image or something, or just say like I don't like this section. Create me another section like this. People give up because it's too complicated, right? And then the fear is that I cannot do it. I'm not capable of doing it, and then you don't even try. Before you even try, you give up, right? And this is the problem. And this ClickStats AI, right, which you can try for 7 days for free if you wish, right? No hard feelings. You want to leave, you get every single penny back. I don't really care. The point I'm making is this will be that game changer for you where you can now have belief that, hey, I can do it. And if you believe that you can do it, then we will give you all the clients. We'll show you where to find clients, how much and all that we can discuss, right? The point is that if you know that, okay, if Paul gives me the clients, then I know what to do now. Okay, I will not stare at a blank screen and give up, or I'll be in a situation where like I'm inundated with this complicated JavaScript coding and all this stuff, and I'll give up, right? And that's been the problem. Okay, there's a reason why, right? If you think about it, right? Over the years, right? Why do people pay $800 for a website design, right? Why do people for like one website page? Why would people pay like a business owner? If they could do it, they would do it, right? It's hard. It's not easy. And this is the thing I keep telling people is that when you understand, right? Just think about it, right? In about 2 years, this becomes norm, right? This becomes the normal way of doing things. Then what's going to happen is the expectation is that you'll be using AI to build websites. So the expectation for clients will be, I cannot wait for 3 to 4 weeks. Do it to me. Do it on in one day, right? And that will only mean that those people like you or me who understand this, who really understand the power of this, will get a competitive advantage, like an unfair advantage over everybody else, because the other people will say, I'm just gonna do the coding myself. I'll explain the virtues of how good that is, where I can custom do things. But if they're sitting for 3 to 4 weeks, the world moves fast, right? Nobody has time to wait for 3 to 4 weeks. They'll pick you over that. Like, think of it this way. You can let me know in the chat box if this makes sense. Let's say, for example, right, you, right, needed a service. Let's say something broke in your house, like your water is leaking, right, in your house, right? And then you call a plumber to fix the issue, right? And then you call the plumber, and there are two people. One person says it's $1,000 to fix this. I will come 3 to 4 weeks from now. Another person says, I'll same $1,000. You come in and I'll do it today because I'm on the way, right? Who would you pick? Let me know in the chat box. The person will come now, right? And in cases you might even be willing to pay more money for it, right? So then you tell me, who would you, like, if somebody calls you and says, well, the problem is this, well, I can solve it this way. I've had 35 years of experience doing it. You want the problem solved. You don't have 3 to 4 weeks to wait for somebody, correct? So same thing applies in real life world, right? In the real world, speed is everything. Like oftentimes, like when we have to do projects, literally half an hour is all you have to finish some things, right? And I'm willing to pay a premium in many cases to do the same thing, just like how you would, right? If you want to get things out of the way, speed is everything, right? Every day counts. So same thing, understand this, okay? Yeah, always pay a premium for service, right? The one who comes first, 100%, right? It's common sense, but you see how important it becomes, right? And I keep telling this because you gotta drive home this point where if you don't believe you can do it, no matter how many clients we give you, no matter what we teach you, it's gonna basically be like, okay, yeah, sure, Paul can do it. He's been doing it forever. I can do it, right? Or you'll get fixated on some topics which are irrelevant, like what is the CSS system being used? Is it Tailwind CSS, or is it JavaScript JS with Ajax and parallax effects? Irrelevant. All those really are behind the scenes stuff that is already being done by AI here. It's intelligent enough to understand it, right? So that is the reason why I'm trying to kind of drive home this point, where understand that this technology is so brand new, and imagine 6 months from now, right? It's going to be infinitely better. A couple of weeks from now, it's going to be double as powerful as this. And if you understand that, and if you implement that, everything else will open up. All the other opportunities will clear up. Okay. And we'll answer some questions here as well and walk you through where to get clients, how. But are you ready now? Just let me know in the chat box, right? Whether you get in or not, it's okay. It's a powerful technology. ClickSites is super awesome. You can try it for 7 days. It's super cheap. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access, or like you can do a payment option where you can pay 2 payments spread out over 40 days or so. But the point of the matter is, right, at the end of the day, no matter what, right, price is irrelevant if you have belief that it's possible and it's something you can achieve, correct? So like, are you ready now? Like, we'll show you how to do it. You can post some niches and stuff. We'll walk you through it and stuff. But you can save it right now. You can save this project and you can go on and you can do other things as well. But to see the power of this, right? Let's go back home now, right? Real quick. Like, you can see yourself, right? Yeah, I'm ready to go. Let's go. I'm all in, right? Absolutely. This is what I'm looking for. Because at the end of the day, right? Because we've done our very best to give you web hosting included. You don't have to worry about that. You can put custom domains here. You don't have to worry about that. You can also basically do workspaces, meaning you can manage multiple organizations under each other. You can even do white labeling, where in some cases the client says, hey, look, I already have a web designer available. You give me the initial website and give me the application you're using to edit. whether that's Webflow, whether that is, let's say, Wix.com, whatever. In this particular case, you can give it with your branding. So then at the end of the day, you can charge them any amount of money, whether it's $49 a month, $97 a month, whatever, because we'll show you where to get those clients, right? So really, all you got to do, as I mentioned before, select the workspace, right? Let's say it's a plastic surgeon, dentist, whatever, right? Whatever workspace, this is the organization. Then you pick what is the industry, right? And we have tons of them you can pick, or you can write it down, whatever you want. You can even use it as an example, right? Let's say, for example, people always ask, Paul, I don't know. Like, let's say I want to do it for DJ services. DJ services is not here. Okay, let's just find, right? Audio production, let's say. Click on this right here. Even though DJ services may not be the category here, I can say like this. Again, let's go with the Miami example. Miami DJ services, right? So this guy plays in all the nightclubs in Miami, let's say. So you see here, what is the site about, right? Website's topic, okay? Website to sell my DJ services to nightclubs in Miami, okay? And then boom, you can pick the language if you want. And you can pick it in a different language here. Click, and then it says sounds interesting. Let me think, okay? Look this. Right? Now I'm in DJ, nightclub, DJ bookings, right? Sell your DJ services. So I can change this a little bit here, okay? If I don't like it. So I can say something along the lines of DJ Paul services, right? DJ services, services in Miami, right? I can change this a little bit. Doesn't have to be completely reliant on AI, right? And then you can even say, why nightclubs should hire me, right? Okay, something like this. And then you can play around, right? You can do whatever you want, right? Music styles for my DJ services, right? And then you can have services, testimonials, blah, blah, blah. Click next. So you see, it didn't have to, like, even though the category was not present, DJ services was not in the drop-down, just to help you with, you can just play around and do it because the AI will intelligently understand it. And you can just give the categories, the menus and stuff, and it will do it on its own. Does that make sense? Right? Isn't that cool? Right? Like, because at the end of the day now, if you were stuck with templates in the past where you're like, oh, it's not there. The template I wanted is not there. Instead, you're building it with no templates required. And technically, you're building your own templates too, ideally, right? Because at the end of the day, it's doing everything from scratch behind the scenes, right? So does that make sense? Oh yeah, I'm seeing Michael, I'm ready to buy now. So all you gotta do is go to clicksites.ai/go. While this is building, it's gonna take another 20 seconds to build. All you gotta do, go to clicksites.ai/go, right, Michael? This is what you do. The next price increases in 2 hours, by the way. So basically, this is your chance to get it for the lowest price it will ever be offered. Now click here. So as I mentioned, right, I'll just do this real quick here. So you got a 7-day free trial option or a full pay option, which is where you pay once and you're done. No hype, no hoopla, no need to worry about credits, no need to worry about monthly fees, yearly fees, mumbo jumbo stuff. That basically comes with 500 custom domains, 500 workspaces, meaning 500 organizations you can work. 500 custom domains means domains you can connect with our web hosting we'll deal with, or you can do unlimited downloads of your website. So you can download some websites and then you can host it wherever you want as well if you want to, right? Some cases like education, not-for-profit, government, some things like that, they'll say like, look, host it in our server. You can do that. You can download every single website you built, okay? It's also good where tomorrow you want to extend that elsewhere, you can do that too, okay? You also have 10 team collaboration accounts, by the way, and both of the plans are the same in terms of what's offered. There's no limits either way. If you want to try the 7 days and you want to spread it out slightly where it's $89, spread out over 2 months, meaning 7 days later you get billed $89, and then 30 days later, meaning 37 days from now, you get another, just total of $178. It's about $10 more. It's going to be more actually after this price increase, the difference. And then you can still get that, right? 7 days should be more than enough with what we train you right now also on how to get clients and how do you get leads and sales and stuff. And then let's say, for example, you want to try this out, you just click on this right here, and then you can go and you can use your credit card, whatever, PayPal, crypto, which is Coinbase, Google Pay. If you're using Apple devices, Apple Pay is also another option. And here's the thing, okay? We already raised the price. It was $167 before. Now it's $168. We already raised the price a few hours ago. We'll keep raising it again and again, okay? Just to understand that. Secondly, right? It comes to a 30-day no question and money back guarantee. Okay, go through our training, see for yourself. There's nothing like this out there. Okay, for any price. Even if you were to pay a lot of money and beg people and say like, I need it, there's nothing else. Because if you think about it, right? Let's just go to google.com. I'll show you, right? So let's say Wix, right? Wix AI builder, right? Like Wix has its own AI builder. It's a very well-known thing. Go to pricing here, right? Check this out, right? I'll show you this 1 second. Let me show you here. There we go. Yeah. See, look at that. Look at the pricing plans there. And I'll play around here as well. Check this out. All right. So you see this right here? A business elite account, $149. Business growth account, $39. Right? Free domain for 1 year, they'll say, but it's $39 a month you got to pay. And here's the other thing, okay? It's one website. Let me repeat that again. One website, no workspaces, no way for you to build it for clients. They have to all buy the subscription plan to get it, right? Does that make sense, guys and gals, right? And so this is going to give you the edge, because even if somebody is using Wix to build websites, they don't have to worry about it, right? You get my point, right? Super, super awesome and powerful, right? Because if I'm going to, I can go to every single Wix person and say, look, I have a better website builder. You don't have to pay monthly subscriptions with Wix, and you can manage the accounts. We manage the hosting and all that stuff, right? And you can go ahead and play around with it. Like imagine this, okay? There's this platform called Wix, Built With, right? You can go to Built With, right now. And then you can say, what is this website built with? Okay, Wix.com, right? There we go. And then, so it shows me all the websites that were built with Wix platform, right? So then what you can do is it's gonna give you the clients of these people, like who are all using Wix, see? And all the website URLs for it. Do you see yourself where you can do it? Like say for example, like watch this. This is Wix right here, right? Technology, right? Live websites. These are all the websites using Wix, 3.6 million, right? And these are how much they're spending right now. And it's a free tool you can do, right? And they give you the details of the name, and we'll show you how to get in touch with them. They're already spending $5,000 a month right now for just website design, right? This one, another one, Savvy Money and all that stuff, right? Don't you agree with me that like if you can offer them saying you don't have to pay $39 a month or $97 a month Wix, you will be able to do that, isn't it? Does that make sense? Right? And then if you go into this other platform, let's go to Google again. This is the Durable AI Website Builder, right? If you find out every single person using this, right? Every business using this Durable AI Website Builder platform, right? Which I showed you earlier, right? If you go in here, this is the pricing page of that. Watch this, monthly. Most people who are businesses are minimum using $25 a month plan or $95 a month plan, right? Do you see yourself where if you can find out all the clients, right? Similarly to what I showed earlier of people who are using this platform, you can go to them and say, look, you're paying $95 a month or even $25 a month. Let me handle it for you. You don't have to worry about basically paying monthly fees, and I'll charge you $800 or $1,000 or whatever it is the price the marketplace is willing to pay, right? Then the question was all about competence. Can you do it or no? If you can do it, boom. Which I showed you already how to do it, right? So now again, while I'm showing this, our website was already built many minutes ago. Let's select theme. And this was about basically go back, right? This was about that DJ services, right? And you can pick whatever, right? It doesn't even really matter, whatever services that we desire, right? And you can play around with whatever you want. So for example, if I like this one, let's just go here and boom, it's writing the whole DJ services, right? You see this? While I'm actually talking with you, my hands again are nothing in my hands, powerful, right? Because I know behind the scenes that not only is it writing it in a copywriter style, like how, like look at this right here, right? DJ Paul is master of music curation, tailoring his set list to perfectly match. I have no idea what a set list is. Honestly, I don't, right? So the point is it's thinking like what the main pain points would be for a club, which is the client for the DJ services. What are they looking for, right? Or somebody wants a DJ in their home party or in their office or whatever, right? Office parties. Well, it's catering to that, right? And I can go even a little bit more, granular and actually write with the AI assistant, which I'll show you in just a second, where you can go more granular, like if it's electronic music or hip hop or whatever the DJ services are. Like for example, once this finishes creating it in front of my eyes, right? Click edit. And then you can go in here and go to assistant like so, right? And you can say general or image. So in here I can say write 5 bullets on why hip hop DJ services are expensive and why DJ Paul is the cheapest solution or best solution, highest quality, right? Highest recommended solution, right? Whatever, you get the point. And then you click send, and it's gonna actually write 5 bullets and keep it within the theme of the website, and you get the point, right? That is also possible. So the AI assistant will write it. You see this? It kept the theme in mind, right? It did the whole thing. Now I can delete this. So let me cut this here real quick. You see this, right? Miami DJ service, Elevate United Live hip hop services are expensive, specialized skills, blah, blah, blah. Now I like this. I can change the color and all that. That's obvious, but I can delete this. Delete this, and now this is my new thing. You see how easy that was? Few seconds. I just used the assistant tab here, which was located here, right? Okay, now, okay, isn't that cool? So if you haven't already gotten it, get the clicksize.ai right now, because we're raising the price every hour or every couple of hours or whatever. You know, the next price increase is 2 hours from now. So you can get it for the lowest price right now. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pass it on to Ali, because he's been checking all your questions. Number one question he wanted to address right now is, how do we get clients? Where do we get clients? How much to charge them? And also, what is the best way, if you are to do all this stuff, right? What is the best way to go about selling it, right? So Ali, you're here. Share the screen here. So can you, and I'll also answer your questions, by the way, folks. Go, keep posting all your questions right now. You're muted, Ali, by the way.
Okay, so hello everybody. Thank you again, Paul, for that presentation. You can see all the comments of people enjoying that, and some people that have come back and they are learning much more. So what I'll do, we have some training for today. So please bear with me. I'm going to go at pace that hopefully covers everybody, because please bear in mind that there may be some people that might not be as quick as you. So I'm trying to just make sure everybody gets covered. But one of the key things that we've been getting asked is, when it comes to ClickSites AI, what's the best way of actually generating revenue or getting growth from this, and finding clients? What's the best way of actually using this and, generating that revenue right into your business or into your pocket, essentially? Okay, whether you want to do this for personal needs or as a freelancer or contractor, what are some of the methods that you can do? So I've got some slides and we'll just go through them. Okay, so let's go here. Okay, so first and foremost, I've got some slides. I'll go through them quickly, and I don't want to bore you too much on slides, because I know when it comes to slides, they can be very boring, but I'm going to try to break them down, make them clear, so you understand what exactly we're trying to achieve, all the bullet points. So you know what the point is, what we're trying to learn and understand, especially from your point of view. So first of all, we're going to look at how to unlock client growth. So essentially, how do we target the clients that we need, especially for ClickSites AI? Because it makes no sense if you're not going to be finding any clients, because that means you're going to have no jobs and you're not going to generate any revenue whatsoever. So looking at unlocking client growth and boosting revenues using ClickSites AI exclusively. So
yeah, just Ali, one key point I want to make. Just a couple of people were asking, in case they missed it because they came late or whatever. The question was, how did Paul find all the Wix websites, right? So just wanted to answer that, because I think that ties in perfectly with what you're sharing today, the pricing and all that kind of stuff, right? So I'll quickly post this, guys. This is a website called builtwith.com. So I will actually put it up in the screen right now. So it's builtwith.com. It's one of the services you can use for free out there. So you go in here, builtwith. So wix.com, right? I'll just put Wix. I'm not even use Wix. So when you type it in this website, right, which is in the bottom, you see there, right? I put it up in the bottom. You see that website? I put it in that bottom left for you folks to go in. It's a free service. You can go in here, Wix, and then you type it in. While you're typing it in, it's going to say, these are all the live websites, right? Websites in Canada, United States, United Kingdom. You can go even local if you want. So let's say I want to go all the websites in Canada. These are all the websites you're using Wix. 84,000 Wix stores. These are meaning they're paying subscriptions right now, okay? They're paying anywhere between $29 a month to all the way to $150 a month, right? So now you can go and you go to any one of these and go to the contact page and get details, or you can even scroll down here. You see it gives you the contact details as well here, like Carol Ford, the manager of this company, their LinkedIn and stuff, right? It was all free. I didn't even log into the account, by the way, right? You can do this. Other option is, there's another website I showed you, right? Durable, which is an AI site builder, right? So which is similar, if you will, but more expensive and doesn't have the workspaces and white label option and stuff that we have for click sites, right? Same concept, right? Durable websites in United States, let's say. There are about 17,184 websites for this AI site builder. These are all people paying a subscription. Same concept applies here. You go to tech spend. This is how much they're spending. Most of them are like small businesses, right? Obviously. So if you go here, it gives you, right, the people and stuff. Let's say, for example, where possible, like you go here, right? This is in Las Vegas, Ace Financial Services, right? And then this is their phone number, right? And find their people who are working for this company in LinkedIn. You see what I'm saying? He gives you that. So if you accept the fact then that you can go into all these platforms, you're actually paying money and offer them a better solution, cheaper solution, faster solution, and of course saves them money, right? Because not everybody has the time to go sit and like go to these platforms to build websites for them and whatever. Do you see yourself, right? If we show you what price point to do, how to approach them, what's the best approach, how to get the best leads and sales from, do you see yourself? Let's raise your hand right now. If you see yourself, you can be able to achieve this. In other words, right? There's 17,184. Do you see yourself out of 17,000, you could get at least maybe 5 people, maybe 1 person to say yes? That alone could be worth $800 plus, right? Minimum, right? Do you see yourself? Let me know in the chat box, because then what Ali is sharing with you will completely make sense, right? Because at the end of the day, it's not the clients that's the problem. Because the number one problem people feel is, I don't have enough clients. Like, people will not listen to me. I don't know where to find people. I'm telling you, just off of this 17,000 of these people will be receptive to your message because they're already paying for an AI site builder. They already know what an AI site builder is. They already know the power of an AI site, right? Website built with AI, right? And there's just one platform. There's tons of them, right? You can search other ones too, right? So yeah, see, I'm seeing everybody's raising their hands. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, Ali, yeah, you can go ahead now. Yeah, because I think this is critical for people to understand.
Okay, so right, just let me see. Okay, so what Paul just mentioned is a kind of a good segue, but we're going to come back to that because it's going to make a lot of sense. Now, one thing you got to understand is there's so much information comes out, and what's going to happen, many of you will suffer with information overload. So all this information is great, but if we don't do it in a nice order, it's just going to go over your head, and you're still not going to have a kind of pathway from A to Z, right? Does that make sense? So there's so much information. Let's try to do it in a nice structured way that you can actually get started and get rolling immediately. Okay. So coming back, let's have a look. The ultimate tool for attracting clients and driving revenue. So we're going to look at some key things. Next, introduction to ClickSites AI, how it's going to help you to find clients. So remember, we've got tools like the team accounts. So if you want to use this as an individual, you can. However, you do have the capabilities and under the plan, when you go and get access today, okay, with clicksites.ai/go, you'll have the ability to actually add team accounts, okay, 10 team accounts, so you can actually get your little one, maybe your 7-year-old, because it really is that easy, maybe your grandma, maybe your auntie, whatever it is. So you can actually grow a company using ClickSites AI. So that's a really important point I wanted to drive. So it's about scaling. Okay, as an individual, you might not see it right now, but hopefully by the end of this presentation, as we go through this content, you're going to realize the potential of actually starting off small, and then you can actually generate that revenue and you can reinvest into your company, and you can actually start building out your team and your staff. So just visualize that. But again, it depends on what you're looking for. Okay, so it's about minimal effort. Some key things there you'll probably see is automation, finding those potential clients and using it for business growth with minimal effort. That's one of the key things, is that we don't want you to be stuck and inundated using weeks of HTML code and writing this and writing that, and just, I need to go back and make this edit, that edit. That's why with ClickSites AI, it's designed to be simple. And I'm going to show you some. I'm not sure if Paul showed you the other feature that that has been added. So it just makes it a much more streamlined experience. So why is getting clients so important, especially when it comes to client acquisition? Why does it matter? Because this is one of the fear that many people have, and I've seen this in the comments. Okay, most people will actually stop from taking any action, and they will keep having this mindset of being scared. They're like, I can't get I can't get a client. How do I get the first client? What do I do with them? What price do I do? Do I go at this price, that price? And the problem is, it's not about getting your first client, but it's it's just generating those leads. When you've got an abundance of clients coming in, you're not going to worry about one or two clients if they turn you down. So people have this fear of rejection. That's ultimately what it comes down to. So we kind of have to address, I know we will get into obviously the training, click sites, and go into the app itself, but some of this is mindset related, where many of you will struggle, and you probably have been struggling for so long, because it's just getting over these mental hurdles. So I just want to kind of address that as well. So coming back, why consistently bringing in new clients is crucial to the success of your design business. Let's treat it as a business, not a hobby. However, if you want to do this in your spare time, maybe you're doing this additionally with your 9 to 5, then please do it. If you've got a loved one, maybe a family member, your spouse, and you kind of teach them, then yeah, using this will give you a competitive edge, and will give you, a pipeline full. So pipeline in terms of having consistent leads coming into your business. And one thing Paul did mention, just one of those sites, and I'm going to show you some others I've come across where you can find those clients. We're going to try to make this as easy as possible for you. So hopefully that makes sense. So we're also going to look at click sites AI in terms of identifying your ideal clients. Nobody wants clients that you can't deal with, that are going to pay you a little bit amount of money, and you're doing all this work for them, and they're raking in the money, right? So I'm gonna actually show you how click sites can actually help you also identify the right audience, or audiences and niches that you probably never thought of, or you're unaware of. So we're going to look at the demographics of that, the industries, and we just want to make sure that you're working with the right type of people, opposed to, the wrong type of people. Okay, so you have a choice. You dictate the terms that you want. However, if you're just starting off for the very first time and you want to get your first client, the goal here is just to go get your first client, okay, to generate that first sale. Okay, does everyone agree with that? It's just getting over the hurdle of generating your first, or having that first contract with the client. That's all it is. Once you address that, then that fear, okay, that fear will be removed, and then your belief system will change, and then you'll take more action upon it. And then we'll do a Q&A session. We'll go through some of the ways you can actually optimize business growth and questions. So we'll do a questions and answers, but I want to go through some of the content first, okay? And then I will address as many questions as possible. So the training, the PowerPoint, I'm pretty sure we could probably make this available, but the training, you will have access to it later. However, please bear in mind, there's even going to be even better, more advanced training that's going to be coming up as part of one of the bonuses, to make sure and ensure you get the most optimized training and tools and resources to really get the most out of click sites AI. Okay, that's one of the key things. So this is, the training and the tools and strategies we're going through now are just as important as the software itself. So coming back now, let's have a look. So straight away, last but not least, okay, that's covered. Oh, we're also going to look at common mistakes that I've seen, and you'll come across them yourself. Some of the common pitfalls to avoid, such as where a lot of people do fail when it comes to getting clients, is the follow-up. So you do your outreach, you contact the client, which I'll show you some processes now. And unfortunately, what people do, they give up on the first instance, and they just jump off to the next person, instead of following up to the initial client or prospect that they reached out to. So generally, marketing, sometimes it can take about 3-4 attempts until you have a conversion of somebody, that they take action on your offer. Okay. And also, I'm going to look at click sites AI, that how just by neglecting some of the features is going to cost you. Okay, it's going to cost you, because a lot of the features we have, they're so updated, they're so so futuristic, that by not implementing them, you may actually lose clients. So what do I mean by that? If we've got certain animation tools and certain personalization tools implementing click sites AI, that will give you the unfair advantage over your competitors that may also build websites, but they don't have the extensive functionality, the advanced AI features that click sites AI offers. So that's a really, really important point to make, that you actually have the unfair advantage over everybody else. And you probably don't even realize this. Like, I think Paul mentioned this the other day. Maybe 12 months from now, you may realize, like, I wish, if you haven't got click sites AI right now, you may have wished, I wish I would have started back then. Because later on, tools, they do get advanced, and they become more, they do add to them, and you just don't want to be left behind. I think that's the that fear of missing out. So 100%, I would say jump straight in it. So let's go straight, and let's start looking at where we can get some clients. So some of the places, like, let's just begin. If I was to, let's just say, for example, basic research purposes, right? If I went first into click sites AI and I went to create, okay, let's just say we can actually use click sites AI first to kind of figure out, what is the niche or industry that I'm looking for. So for those that don't know where to start, maybe they're a bit confused in in the sense that, hey, Ali, where do I start? What kind of industry should I go in? So that's a really important, I guess that is an important question for those that don't know. However, if we come to the AI chatbot, and I mentioned this before, so see where it says select your business type. There's an extensive drop down you can choose from. So these essentially are niches. Okay, these are industries that will give you the idea, and it'll give you, that kind of understanding. Hey, you know what? I never even thought about it. Maybe I do food delivery website, maybe furniture, restoration, gardening, glass repair, graphic design, a hair salon. Things that might not even be common, that you never even thought about. So you can take these industries and you can actually then start doing research upon them. And you can say, you know what? Maybe I want to first focus on interior design websites. And then when you kind of lock that in and you've accumulated clients from that, then there's nothing stopping you from diversifying your portfolio. Yeah. Does that make sense, everybody? So I just, for those that might be a little bit confused, thinking, where do I start? Do you understand that you could just use this to figure out and identify the industry that you may want to enter, just to start? And remember, nothing has to be perfect. If I could tell you anything, do not chase perfection, because it'll cripple you. It will sabotage you. The key here is just taking action. Choose one and stick to it. It doesn't matter. Forget about people that say, stick with your passion. All right, that's great. You stick with your passion, but I got bills to pay. I've got revenue to generate. I've got business to make, because I've got expenses. So sometimes you just have to, bite the bullet, so to speak, and just get going. Now, into questions, I will answer questions such as, SEO and things like that. So when the sites are built, there is an engine in the background that's working and is optimized, especially for search engine optimization. Alongside that, there'll be other tools that you can use within the editing of the website, that you can actually alter the data and the SEO setting to make sure that is optimized further for, how it appears on Google or search engines. Okay, so I will definitely make sure that we get this covered when we go in. So I just want to give you that idea that, you come here. Let's just say if I went to, let's go for something common, I guess, dentist, right? So I've got a dentist here. I could come here now to Google and I could type in dentist. Look, dentist in Manhattan now, for example. This is a simple way of coming through, right? Of doing research. I come to the map here. And the idea here now, it's simply by taking some time, I can actually look at different dentists in an area. Now, this will help me in two ways, right? Number one, I can see and I can go through. Again, this is a process you can go through. Remember, you have team accounts. You can have other people do this for you also. But if you're starting off, you want to keep the expenses low, then do this manually. You have the time. Understand how all of this works, and then you can train others. Or you can get others involved because you understand the processes, right? It's an easy way to do it. Number one, first of all, you're going to find out, who's got a website. So ways you could do this, you could look at the ranking, number one. So you're probably thinking, why would I look at the ranking or the reviews in a sense? Now, typically, let's say if a website's got a high rank, generally, it means that they've probably got a good website anyway. However, some of them might have a high rank in terms of reviews, but they might have a really rubbish website. And vice versa. If you've got maybe a new website that's got a low ranking, it may be that they're just new. They've just completely just joined the, say, for example, their website, put it online, and they're building up, but they might have a really poor website. So the second thing is, you can actually start looking at the styles of their website and you could model. Very important. There's nothing stopping you from looking at really amazing websites and model it, because we have ClickSites AI. So say, for example, if I come in here, let's have a look. New York General Dentistry. I can see here, let's have a look. They've got a website like so, and it'll open it. And, you've seen these other styles. Look at this. We've got everything, if not better. And that's it. It's just a basic website. But we have more advanced tools and abilities that we can use. So you can kind of look at what's working and we can model. So that's a key thing. So you can do this with any industry. Now in the chat box, just let me know. Are you following? Does this make sense so far? Can you kind of see if you just expand your thinking and say, you know what? Yeah, I didn't realize I can look at all these different industries. I can see at different types of dentists around. And in a sense, another key thing I would also suggest is, when you're going out there for the first time, one key question you may get asked. Okay, you may get asked this by a client or a prospect. Hey, do you have a portfolio page? And sometimes there's two ways of answering. Yes, I've got a portfolio that you can actually create sites beforehand in that particular industry, because you got ClickSites AI. Go churn out 10 different websites. Just make dummy type style websites, all right? Okay, so you can showcase that, or alternatively, go find 5 different dentists that may have poor websites, reach out to them and say, look, what I'm going to do for you, I'm not going to charge you the full amount. Some of them, even if you want, charge them for free. Why do I say that? It sounds crazy. Why would you say free? Because once you kind of get that that credibility out there, that you've created, let's say 5 websites for 5 dentists in the Manhattan area, don't you think it's much more easier? Now you've got real social proof. You could get a video testimony. You can take that video testimony, you can get it transcribed into an article, written form, or even an audio. Then it becomes a little bit much more easier that when you go to the next prospect, there's no barrier to entry, right? You say, yeah, I've just done 5 of your competitions there. I'm sure I can help you. Does that make sense? Are you following? Okay, so sometimes it's about building up that portfolio, even if you have to go in at a lower cost. Say for example, you say to someone, I'll do your website for about $50, right? Everyone else is charging $500. Yeah, I'll do it for 50. I will generate a website for you for, like, say, $50. But a caveat could be, in order for me to manage that website, I will charge you $100 per month. So if you show them initially, let's just say 5 or 10 people, because we're building up credibility. That, I think that's the key thing, and that will remove your fear of then reaching others, because you already have websites done. Alternatively, this strategy actually works well. You could find 5 companies of dentists in an area. Let's go back here. Let's say, for example, if I come to 5 dentists in Manhattan, look, we've got a nice map here, and we don't have to go to Manhattan. Anywhere you want, I find 5 companies here that may have poor websites. And then what I do, I go to one of them and I say, you know what, I'm going to build you a website. And they may say, yeah, I'm really interested. Then what you do, you could create a bidding war. You could go to their competition and you could say, you know what, your friend over there, your competition, the dental house, they want a website also from me. But I'm going to, would you be more interested? I'm going to charge this amount. So essentially, you want to build at least one website for one person opposed to their competition. So you can kind of make everybody outbid one another, right? That's one strategy. Now, interestingly enough, let's just say if we went back to Paul's example, I think it's a fantastic example, right? And I kind of wanted to focus on this a little more. Now, you may be thinking, when it says tech spend, so ideally, I would imagine ones that are spending more money here have already got, a quite expensive web developer. And you may be thinking, I've got no chance there. Yeah, let's just put them aside. So what I would do, I would focus more on the lower spend budgets, okay? The lower spend. Why would I do that? Because they might have a smaller company, a smaller number of employees, and they might not have as much of a bigger website or presence, and they may be new. They may be new where I can come in and I can say, you know what? Let me have a look at, let's just say, one of these blank ones here. You can see they've got no social, no employees, and let's just go and select it. This is an educational one, yeah? And then it's about outreach. Now, here we can see, okay, we've got their telephone number. They've got LinkedIn. So now it's a case of, now I need to do an outreach. Now, the next thing is, hey, look, you're scratching your head. What do I write? What email do I write to them? Okay, I don't even know where to begin, right? So I've got a solution for you. I've got a couple of solutions, but let's go back to ClickSites AI. If you wanted to, this is up to you. So you've got the option, let's just say, if I went to ClickSites AI, we can actually use the AI assistant to create our outreach emails for us, right? You heard, yep, that's it. So we can now use ClickSites also for other than just building websites. In a sense, it can actually create those outreach emails for us. Okay, so let's see. Let me try to pull this up right now. Okay, let's see. Okay, so let's go here. Okay, we go to the assistant now. So remember, I'm trying to make this as easy as possible. So let's ask a question. Let's say create an email for cold calling a potential client where I will build their website. Now, remember, you make the command to include any information you want. You can have your own information, but the more specific you are, the better response you're going to get. And check this out. Unlock your online potential, and you put your company name, and it's giving you a template. Now, tell me, how easy was that? I can simply come and paste, and I can go email that directly to them. I come in and I make those few changes. But I can also use the assistant for my outreach, and I can kind of help the entire process. So I want you to really think about the features, how you can use them other than, even though I know it helps you build a website 100%, but you can also use the tools to actually generate a revenue and boost those that revenue for your company also by using some of these tools. Now, secondly, what we can do, we can take this right now and we can actually create a Facebook post, maybe a Facebook outreach post, because some of your clients will also be accessible via Facebook, or maybe you'll see certain groups in Facebook. We'll have a look at that later, and especially with Marketplace, how you can identify these people, and you can actually use the tool here now to let's have a look to use it. So if I came here now, let's just go to general here. Let's clear this up. Create 5 social media posts based on this email template. So remember, these are I'm working in stages now, because these are going to be key. These are things that you're going to need. All right, you probably haven't even thought of them, and when you get to them, you'll be confused. Like, how do I reach? What's the best way of contact them? What do I send them? Now, straight away, you can see it's created 5 social media posts here. Okay, that you can also use on top of it. So if you've got a business, consider making a business Facebook business page where you can actually post this, create an audience. So you show, you show your company, the branding, that you're active, that you know what you're doing, you know what you're talking about. Okay. And these templates, take them, put them in your Google document, put them in your notepad, make copies, save them so you can use time and time again. Right? Does that make sense? So you can create as many as you wanted using the AI assistant here, and just keep copies of them. You could create a sequence. You could essentially you could ask the assistant to create, 5-day sequence of emails on contacting a prospect until they answer. So I want you to think outside the box in those terms. And again, look, we've got these beautiful templates. And even it says, look, a visually appealing website mockup or screenshot, and you could go into the assistant and create something using the image generator, or you could use your own graphics if you so desire. So you can see it's doing a lot of the heavy lifting for me, right? It just is, it makes things a lot easier. So that's one method. Now, coming back, let's go to Upwork. Okay, Upwork. If I type in website developer, this is another way of finding clients. Number one, yes, you'll find people that are looking for website design. And another thing I want you to also understand with this is also going to give you some education in terms of pricing. So yes, everybody says you can set your own pricing. Yeah, you can, but it's more likely when you got a portfolio, you got some social proof, you can actually then command a higher rate, right, of costs or your budget. Okay, you can actually command a higher amount of money because of your expertise or the level that you have. However, if they see your portfolio, you go create and generate about 5-10 websites and put them in your portfolio. Remember, when I mean portfolio, I'm talking about use ClickSites AI, create a page, and on that page you can actually embed images, and those images could be a display of your portfolio, could be on a slider that showcase the website you create, or even portions of the websites you've created, that you can then create that single page and send it to individuals. Let's just say this is Upwork right now. So if you went to apply, you can send them, here's some of the work that I've done. And depending on the industry that they're in, check this out. Just say, for example, this one's, let's have a look. Say, for example, this one's a logo, but just imagine, okay, let's just go for jewelry business. Now, imagine this is a jewelry business. I would now go into ClickSites AI, and I would create 10 websites that are for jewelry-based businesses. They don't know that, right? But it appears that I only specialize in jewelry-type business websites. Does that make sense? Because it's congruent now. You're not all over the place. You're just like, and it would be more attractive to the client on that side, because it looks like you specialize in it, but they don't know you have that secret trick up your sleeve. Okay. So let's go down, and remember, this is another key thing that was explained as well, or one thing I'll kind of go over again. When things like it says WordPress developer or technical support or HTML and all of that stuff, these code expert, blah blah blah. It doesn't matter, like web developer and designer. It just sometimes it's a more complicated way of saying the same thing. It's like an opt-in page, landing page, squeeze page. It's all the same thing. Okay, so here we got a web developer to seeking a versatile web developer to design and manage and enhance an e-commerce website.
Ali, just chiming in here. One of the questions was, these a lot of the jobs here are asking for multiple pages, right, or menu on the top of the website. How do we go about doing it within ClickSites? Like, how do we do the whole menu? How do we build pages?
That's a great question. Okay, so let's just imagine if we went to, let's go to Upscale Barber. So this is one of the pages that Paul actually created on here. So immediately what I would do, or no, what you would do also, when I come to sections, first I'm going to add a navigation bar. So it's up to you. If you want to add a navigation bar, you can. If you don't, if you just want a clean header effect, you can. It's completely up to you. So first, what I would do, here you can see I've created a navigation bar. Now, what you're seeing is transparent. So what we would do, we would come into the module settings, and then we would come and customize the menu navigation bar or menu as we desire. So we're talking about you can add your own logo. You can actually upload your own logo. We can add text instead if you don't want it. And we can actually have a clickable logo link as well. We can change the width. But let's keep this simple. Let's just change the color here. Let's have a look. Let's just change this. And then so I've got a choice here now. See with this color, if I come to the style, so I can change how I want this top bar. So the navigation bar, I can actually have it in such a way I can actually keep it transparent. I can have it fixed on the page. If I want to scroll down, it can be static. It can be static at the bottom. I can customize it. You know, that's something that when you have it, you can actually play around with it and see which one you like. Now, if I come back straight away, you can see now I've got a nice menu bar. So in order to create multiple pages, what we would do, let's say we come to the menu builder. So two options, you've got settings and menu builder. Now, let's just say we've got a social share button here. Let's just remove everything, okay? Just imagine I'm just starting this from scratch. Let's go ahead and press OK. Now, look, I've just got a home button there. I've got nothing else. So what I would do, I'd come here and I would select add menu item. Let's say about us page, okay? And it's asking me for a link. So I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to come back to that. But what I can do, I can take this about us page. And let's just say I go put that on my notepad, because I've got to come back to it, because these are the pages that I essentially want to create. So I've got an about us page. I've got a choice. I can actually have the text there, or I can select an icon. It's completely up to me. So let me demonstrate that. So here, if I select, where's it gone? About us page. Okay, add. Once I added it, you can see there now. Select OK. Now you can have the about us text there. Now, if I come back to the module settings, if I want instead come back and I select an icon, so about us, let's just put anything, paperclip, press OK, select OK. Wait, hold on. Let's select the icon, update. And can you see that now? It's an icon opposed to the text. So you can customize it, but it might be a small thing, but for many of you, sometimes you want something a little bit different. Okay, you might want that sleek, clean feel to your site. But for this purposes, let me clear that and let's just keep the text. Now, next, what I would want, let's just say our products. Okay, so maybe you want to sell your products, whether physical or digital. That's something we've got e-commerce style blocks that you can add. Then you can add your payment links directly. Or alternatively, if you've got some kind of third-party app that will give you a HTML embed code, that's something you can add. So let's put our products. Oops. Okay, so we got our products now. Add that. Let's go for, services. Okay, let's add another one. Download. And add. And simply select OK. Now look at that. Can you see how that's beautiful getting built out? Now I'll do another one, because this one pops up a lot as well. Let's just say schedule call. Okay, schedule meeting or call, whatever it may be. Now imagine sometimes there may be some of you that want to put your WhatsApp number. Okay, so you could just say WhatsApp. I would imagine if you got WhatsApp, come here. Let's look for a telephone. Here's a little telephone. And there's nothing stopping you from adding your WhatsApp link, okay, in that link right there. And because we've got an icon, check this out. Once I select OK, can you see that? So if you've got Skype or any third-party mobile phone provider that you may have that link to, you can actually put that there. So again, if it was a scheduling tool like a meeting or something, it could then redirect to your alternate page for someone booking a meeting. So you kind of get that. Now, for those that want to go a little bit more advanced, so say, for example, our products, I could now type in, let's just say, hairdressers, shampoo product, right? Shampoo product, okay, with cinnamon oil or something like that. Let's just, I select add. Now, if I select OK, can you see that it's on the end? I don't want that there, because it's too long now. I come back to the module setting, and it's as easy as 1, 2, 3, okay? I simply drag and drop. That's it. I put another one. Let's just say beard oil or something. And it's the same process. I come back, drag and drop. And did you see what just happened there? If I want a menu within a menu, I can also do that. I simply come in, I drag it within shampoo products. So I can have multiple layers within the menu. Okay. So you can see that if I wanted to go in that and in that, and so it just keeps splitting out that menu, but I'm not going to do that. Let's just keep this nice and organized just for the demonstration purposes. Let's go back, bed oil. Okay. And let's go our products. Can you see that, everybody? Do you see how easy that was? That's it. It's really, really simple to set up. And next, let's just go back to the menu builder and let's have a look. So coming back to the settings, because you may have seen this. You're thinking, you know what? It's a bit too dark, the color. Yes, you can customize the color also with the sub menu background color. Okay, so I just want to show you in terms of using these tools first and foremost, just to set that up, and you can see how that nice looks. So you can customize these elements here. So now we need to get to the meat of it all. How do I actually create an additional page and actually link that in there? So what I would do, this page is going to be saved anyway, but always make sure you save your pages. I'd come back now to the home tab. So now I want to go back to the dashboard. So we'll just give that a moment. And once I return now to the dashboard, I'm going to be looking at create from scratch. So hopefully everyone can see this. See, create from scratch. Now, bearing in mind this right here, okay, we have this page right here now. So that's the URL for the main site. Now, if you have your own custom domain name, it'll be very clean. It'll be probably a one-word website there. This is obviously using subdomain name, but remember, when you go access ClickSites AI now at clicksites.ai/go, for the cost, the one-off cost of getting access to it, you are going to get the ability to actually add 500 domain names, and you will get the ability to actually add 500 workspaces. But within each domain name or each website you create, you can create unlimited websites. So see the website we created, I can create unlimited pages now connected to that one individual website. So it's unlimited. It's completely up to you. Now, what I would do, I simply come to create from scratch. And depending, if I've got a workspace already assigned, so say, for example, I've got a barber here. Okay, let's just say, look, just to kind of walk you through, just to make this a little bit more organized. Say if I came to the barbershop, I'll show you very quickly how you would organize it, because this question did pop up. Right, so let's just say barbershop, company name, barbershop LLC. Let's just do that barbershop. Okay, I'm not going to add a custom domain name. And I want to show you how quickly the process is. And now look, I've got my project space here, my workspace. That could be for this particular client being the barbershop. Now I come back to pages. And what I now know is that what I could do, I could come back, create from scratch. And now I'm gonna specify that when I create this page now, it's gonna be for the barbershop there. You can see the drop down. So it's nice and organized. I know exactly where my pages are for that particular website because it's also in the same workspace. Now, what would I call it? And it kind of gives you a prompt here. Look, we've got about us, we've got the home page here, and it's got the slug. Now, I don't want that. So for the example purposes, remember I created the about us section. So the slug would be like this, about us. And remember, we've got the services, products, contact us, etc., etc. I come to create, and the page has been successfully created. That's it. So now this page, I'll show you very quickly what we would do. So say, for example, in terms of this page, it's an about it's an about us page, isn't it? So I could simply come back. Let's just delete this. I've got a nice blank canvas. I come to the section. I want to add a nice little header because it's an about us page, isn't it? So it's about, kind of showing and, celebrating the website and really showing off the skills of the website. So I've got a choice. Maybe I want a nice clean image. I add a nice header image. Looks great. And about us page, what else would I want? I can go to all categories. I can see, have I got any other information I might want to share, like profile. Maybe I want a basic, or maybe I want a video. Let's go for, maybe I got photos that want to show the team members. I can actually, adjust it depending on what I want. So let's just go for profile. And you can see, as you would expect on an About Us page, you would maybe you want to show who the team are. Now, if I scroll down, you've got one team there. Maybe I go back to it. Maybe I want to show, FAQs or contact us, as you would expect. Sometimes you want to see the contact us. Here we go. Or that might be a separate page, but you get the gist of it. Now, I don't think this was mentioned,
but
I'm going
to chime in on this, Ali,
sure.
Right? So, guys, the most important thing to understand here is that people pay you per page generally.
Mm.
You don't, generally what happens, right? And when it comes to web design and stuff, whether you're doing for yourself or for clients too, right? It is based upon the pages in the website. People don't charge a website. What does a website really mean? Is it one page, 5 pages? It could be 500 pages, right? So generally web designers, they charge per page. So what he's showing you right now effectively is this could be a contact us page, about us page. This could be an appointment page where like they come in, they get details about the whole business. This could be, say, for example, a terms and services page, privacy policy page. This could be, for example, more services page, like they want to know what services are being offered or what products and stuff, right? So generally what happens is in a website where you have 5 or 6 pages, you can charge them per page. And this could be very easy to design even, right? At the end of the day, it might take what, like few minutes max to set it up because you have the flexibility to do it from scratch, right? But in the end of the day, though, from the actual way of you billing a client or you're generating a revenue stream, it'll give you that edge also because you're building the whole website, right? At the end of the day. So just to understand, this is very powerful in that sense because you might think, oh, wow, okay, AI built me that main page. Well, you also have the flexibility to do it from scratch if you want, but also on the other hand, if you want AI to build the whole, because I showed you earlier today, right, on how you can get AI to redesign things like the entire layout. It can redesign, change the images to whatever you want automatically, change the text, rewrite the entire elements of the design, right? Because of that fact, it basically, what would have taken maybe 8 to 10, 12 hours can be done now in a few minutes, maybe even less, right? Maybe seconds in some cases, depending on the complexity, right? So why this is important for you to understand is that these blocks, they're not, you should not treat them like a template or a theme. Those are old way of doing things, right? And they'll always become obsolete. With AI, what's going to happen is it's going to become more and more intelligent, and that's what will happen to AI websites as well going forward, is that it's going to know, okay, this is the theme. The whole style is gray or blue hue or whatever. The page is white and bright, let's say, or the page is dark theme, right? Or the page is pastel colors or whatever, right? And it'll keep that existing theme in mind and recreate that. And right now we can already do it with the application, keeping the brand theme in mind. It'll only get better and better because what we're doing behind the scenes is that we're fine tuning the system where every time you generate a page, all the information is saved behind the scenes in the AI context window. What that means is it knows what text you typed, what category you typed, what type of images you posted, all those details, and keeps all the information saved behind the scenes that when you press one button, it engages saying, okay, this was a website on, let's say, IT consulting. This was a website on a barbershop or a DJ services. And then it'll create more and more content based upon that context it already has. And that context window, as we like to call it, is a very new development, right? Maybe just a few months old. And it's only going to get bigger and bigger with time, making it super powerful, okay? So I cannot stress this enough. Sometimes, when we show this, oh yeah, I've seen it before. Oh yeah, it's kind of cool. But the main thing though is that at the end of the day, in reality, right, this stuff was impossible to do with hands, right? You had to rely on a template that is very fixated in nature, like very fixed, right? You had to basically, even if you had to resize an image, it was difficult. Even if you had to delete an element of a template or a theme and then add your own stuff, you would not have that theme make sense because the way the curves around the boxes would be, or the way the color theme would be a complete mess because it would not look similar to the theme. You know what I mean? That's the greatest example of a design element we're talking about here. Everything will be on point. Even the gradients he was showing, the highlights, the colors, the backgrounds, all of those will be consistent across the board with just a couple of clicks, right? And that will help you be more professional without even knowing any code or without doing any HTML, CSS, or all this stuff, right? And the funny thing was, I'll give you an example. All the stuff behind the scenes, right? This is all what we like to call JavaScript, CSS, HTML, all that mumbo jumbo stuff. And people come to me all the time and they say, I'm an expert in Tailwind CSS or this or that, right? At the end of the day, right, is the website beautiful? Does the website have the right kind of text? the end user doesn't care what you're using, right? What is it, JavaScript, HTML, what they care? Okay, does this solve my problem? Hey, I want to book an appointment with the barber. Do they have a website? Let me go contact them. Hey, I want to basically contact this IT services or IT consulting company or whatever the business might be, right? It could be a restaurant, it could be, let's say, for example, accountant or whoever. The point is, the person or the end customer who is actually going to that website, they're not sitting there thinking, this thing right here is AI generated. How will they know? First of all. Secondly, they're not thinking, oh, I will only buy from this person or contact this person if it's made with Tailwind CSS. Who knows? Who cares? You see what I'm saying? And that is the thing a lot of people get fixated upon when it comes to technicalities. But in the real world, speed is the first most important aspect, which AI will allow you. Customization, AI will allow you. The theme, which is being consistency throughout, all the blocks are making sense. The design elements are third most important thing, because it's very difficult to do with templates and themes and stuff, if you folks have known. And even images, right? Something as simple as like this image that he uploaded right now on his screen, right?
No,
To be
Paul,
able
I've
to
got
resize it, to be able to add curves around it, to put a circle around it. This stuff was impossible to do without coding, and even not just coding, but design. I worked with website developers where the person's like, I don't know design, go get a designer and get me that curves and that beautiful edges and that beautiful fonts and stuff, because my job is just to do coding. You tell me you want a button somewhere, I'll put it, but that button design, go get a designer, right? And that's the most common thing here. The technical stuff is handled, and also the design is beautiful, right? And that is a huge thing. And with our roadmap coming up, what my plan is that this context window we are talking about, right, which is saved all the information, the text, the images, and all this stuff. What happens if, let's say, we captured all that stuff? Now it's no longer a template or a theme. It is an entire business that you've captured, right? Imagine how powerful that is, where 6 months down the line, you want to build another barbershop business. All that copywriting context and all those images and the beautiful parts that were there, it remembers it without you having to remind it. Even you might have forgotten what you did, but AI remembers all this, right? And so we're going to be focusing more on this aspect, because we want you to teach you the basics now, how to get clients and all that. But that's the beauty with AI. Imagine, a lot of people don't understand the power of AI is not so much, oh, it can speed up. That's an obvious thing. It's more like doing stuff which you never thought was possible, right? Like stuff which was impossible to do before can be done now, right? That's how I want you to think about it. Like, think of it this way, right? Like, imagine in video, right? When it comes to AI video, for example, like you could create videos that's impossible. Like a Hollywood studio could not be able to even do it, even if they had, let's say, $1 million in budget to do that little scene, because that creativity is not possible by a human being to do, right? Similarly here too, when it comes to AI, right? It's going to be able to create websites that were impossible to be done, or in fact, a human being is not capable of doing it. That's the other cool thing that you can do, right? So just want to mention that, because we're seeing that when we do exploration and research every single day on this stuff. Even we are like, whoa, I've never seen a website that looks like this. And that, if your clients feel that way, they'll pay you a premium for it too, right? So yeah, sorry, Ali, yeah, you go ahead.
No, I don't know if you want to mention this, Paul, but this the AI assistant was updated with a new feature. Did you want to mention that?
No, you go ahead. Yeah, yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
so those that don't know, we actually added the AI system with the image. So what you just saw, I actually typed what I wanted. Instead of going to the AI image generator, we can now use the assistant also to actually do this ourselves directly on the page. Does that? It's a really big thing. Maybe I've underplayed it, but it's a huge thing. So, say for example, if I went now here to this image here, you can see. Let's just say create an image of a blonde woman, right? Oh, that's going to be the wrong one. So in order to do that, you always have to make sure you've got the image selected. So let's go back. Where's it gone? Our gentleman here. Go to image. So this is a brand new update. This is a really key. This is an amazing feature here. It just makes things a lot much more easier. So you've got. So here we go. This again, it's all AI generated. Without me actually going into the image generator, I can actually now do it with the assistant. And another cool feature that has been added. I don't know if it'll work because obviously in the stream we've got the little microphone here. Can you create? Yeah, I don't know if it'll pick it up because I'm obviously on this, but you can actually now dictate into there. Obviously, if you're not streaming, but you can dictate, voice to text essentially, and then you can send that prompt and you can get that done.
Oh, so basically
Okay.
you can speak your instructions, right? Like and
That's
say,
correct.
okay,
You can
do it,
narrate
it'll
exactly what you
transcribe
want,
your
and it's
speech and
it's
text.
very good. Now, next is a huge one. So I don't know if Paul wants to mention it, but someone's got to mention it. We've got a brand new template that you can use. It's a big deal, this. So everyone, are you ready? We've got something called the canvas mode. So you're probably thinking, what on earth is going on? So imagine now you've got these sections that are obviously locked with, especially when you have boxes and stuff. But this brand new canvas mode is going to make things even more interesting. Why do I say that? Because check this. Can you see this text here? Guess what? I can move it wherever I want now. Is everyone following?
Oh,
And
that's
you know what the best
crazy.
part
Wow.
about this is?
Yeah,
That this is
this
also
was a huge thing because if you think about it, right? Like a lot of times we generate an AI image or text or whatever, and we're like move up or move down. That's very inflexible. But I wanted to go to wherever I wanted. Wow, that's crazy. And that's so. How can they do that? So we like say, is
okay.
it for
If you
every
if we go
object? Like
to
how does it work
if we go
exactly?
to sections, you'll see brand new number 3 canvas mode. So instead of having a locked template or the sections that are there that you could come and edit, simply select canvas mode and it'll populate within your site. And you can move that up and down. It's not fixed. You can move it wherever you want. But the
Cool. So
great
this
thing
is
about
almost like in PowerPoint, let's say, for example, we insert something and then now you can move around in PowerPoint in that slide, whatever you want to do, or in that Word document or whatever. It allows you to basically kind of create any element and move it around anywhere you want and play around with it such that it will create that code behind the scenes of wherever it's located, make it mobile compatible and all that kind of good stuff, correct?
that's correct. This is the other very important thing, that everything that you're seeing, it'll automatically make it responsive for you. That's a key thing, that you're not worrying about going and making adjustments, how it's going to look on different devices. That's why I put the live preview on, so you can actually see it working on the fly. So that's a very big key feature that is going to already be mobile responsive across multiple devices for you. So you're not going to have to go in and code this, that, and the other. It's already getting done for you. So imagine now you can create your fully, you've got the ability now to really just do whatever you want. You could, like, say, for example, if I come here now, let's just say, let's go to content blocks. This is a good one. If I wanted to, let's say, let's get a header. If I want to put a headline there, I can put a nice little headline at the top, drag it there, put it anywhere I want. Underneath that, let's say if I want to put a video now, imagine a video if you want your opt-in as well. It depends what you're after. So let's say contact. If I wanted to come put a contact section here, I could come. Let's go. Where is it gone? There we go. Come and drag and drop, and I can move that across. I can put a video on the other side. I can put an image there. So this is a huge component. Okay, and this Ubotic is saying, does this design automatically just for mobile? Yes, it does. That was one thing that we wanted to make clear, that yes, it does actually adjust everything for you. So if you went to the live preview, for example, if I scroll down to this section, you can see as it's adjusting for you, so you're not going to have no issues. And with this canvas mode, you can actually readjust it. So without getting off topic, I just want to show you, because we're going to come back to the menu settings of creating the menu. I just want to show you this is a huge thing that's been added. Now, if I went to the assistant, let's just say create a graphic of a team of 3 team members, graphic of 3 people in a team. Okay, let's just go send. So we'll get AI to create a graphic, and then what I'll do I'm going to then show you how to create the link and actually add it. So you can see within this, what I've done, the image has been added inside. Can you see that? Okay. And another thing is, if I wanted to, I could actually increase that. But with this, if I simply move this across, if I just, all you have to do, once you click it, can you see now it's got a green container around it? Now I've got the choice. I can actually make this wider or smaller, whatever it may be. But once I double click it, can you see this little plus sign here? Okay, if I select, if I want that specific element that I've added, if I want to add something into that container or that part of element that will be locked into it, then I can just simply press the plus and I've got a choice, whatever I want. So in your case, just imagine that if you wanted to do e-commerce, you want to sell your products or whatever it may be. Okay, I've created like an image of a product. etc., etc. And if I want to put the embed code for, payment, checkout, whatever it is, I could just simply select the HTML code, and you've got the code block now. So this is now, oh, where's it gone? Here we go. So this now is one piece that is moving around. Yeah, and I could have multiple pieces if I want. So say, for example, if I come back now, and let's just go to more, and I can move that around. But is everyone following me so far? Does that make sense? So now I could do that for different products. I can put different products with different payment buttons or different embed codes for everything individually. And there's nothing stopping me from coming here now and recreating the same thing again. Okay, so now without getting sidetracked, because I know the question was about the menu, let's just close this now. Let's imagine I've created this About Us page. Make sure it's always saved, but it does save. It generally always saves anyway. Behind the scenes, it always saves. But always do that. All right. Come back to the home button. And now what we're going to do, just imagine you've got multiple pages like this, because a question like this popped up. So say, for example, wait, this is actually a really important part. So just imagine now, say the About Us page was a themed branded page. Now I could use that page for all of the other pages. It's got the logo, the entire template, and I could just put the content on there. What I now would do, I can come back to this About page, and I would now, guess what, clone it. I don't need to keep building the same pages. It's already themed. It's got all the same stuff that I need. All I want to do is make it easier for myself. And I come back and I can change the slug now, okay? Meaning, the extension of the URL, and let's just say services page. Put it in the same workspace, being the barbershop. And I would then select next. And that page has now been cloned for me. Okay, so we can do this multiple times. It stops us from going into every single page and branding it again, putting the same colors. All I would need to do for that particular page that I've built, keep the branding the same as a template, and I just go in and I change what I need to. Maybe different products I've got there. Maybe I've got different information. Maybe I've got different video. Maybe I've got a booking form, a contact form, whatever embed. And you can see now it's there. And there's nothing stopping me. Once I go in the page, I can actually change this around. I can change the title of it to make sure it matches. Now, this is the key part. So the barbershop is the main site. Now I've created additional pages for the main site. I can create unlimited pages for the barbershop website. Now, what I'm looking to do now is take this URL. Okay, I make a note of this in my notepad, which I've got opened up here. And I take a URL for this one as well. Okay, now what I do, I go back into my main website. That will be in my workshop. So if it was in the barbershop one, you would see it listed there. Okay, so it's nice and organized. I don't see any other pages. I come back to this main page here. I will now enter this page and I go to edit. Now what I would do, I now go back to the module settings. I go back to the menu builder. And for the About Us page, as an example, let's go to the About Us page. All I'm simply doing is I go to the link section. Okay, this section here, this container, I simply place that URL, and I can select go to. I can update. Okay, so go to. I'll come to that in just a minute. But once I put the link there, simply update, and that's it. That's all I have to do. Now I had another page. Let's say services. If I go to services, it's the same process, and I update. Now, let's just say as an example, that menu's been built. But another key thing, if I go now, let's just say to this section here, where it's got this, this section here of some grooming tools. If I go to the section settings, if I go to more and I add a section ID. So this section ID, it could be, let's just say beard oil. Okay, let's just call it beard oil. And that's it. Now, can you see, because I've added a particular name to that section. It's called beard oil. It's been now represented by this yellow box here. That won't get shown on your live site. It's only in the editing section. Okay. So if I scroll down, you can see it's not visible. But that's just for you to, basically to indicate that a name has been assigned to this particular section. Why would you need that? Because if I come now back into the menu, okay. Oh, I don't want to leave. If I come back to the menu, I go to the menu builder. Remember the beard oil? I come to this and it's asking me for a link. Now, I could actually go to a particular section. However, I'm not going to do that because I've already put a name in there, haven't I? Beard oil. Where's it gone? Okay. So what I do a hash. And this is in the training as well. So please don't worry. I know it sounds a little bit technical, but it's really simple. It's covered in the tutorial. And once I do beard oil, I've got to make sure that it's exactly the same as I've listed here. Hopefully I haven't put, yes, see, I've put a capital just to make sure. I don't want to mess that up because it won't look really good for this demo. But I come back to beard oil, just make sure it's the correct one, and I update. And I select OK. I'll make sure I save. Is everyone with me so far? Did you see how simple and easy that was? And another key thing before actually I show you a live preview of this, because this is going to be key. If I come back, just we'll allow it to save first. So what I would do, if I come back now, this is key. So you've got an option here. So if I went back to the About Us page, can you see there's actually a checkbox here. So you can have your user either, once they select the About Us page, you can now send them to a brand new tab. So essentially you open a new page without them leaving the existing website. Or if you want, you can actually leave that unticked. And what that would do is it would make them, the page would refresh and it would redirect them within the page, right? So that's what it means. But for this, let's just go for open a new window and select OK. And let's go ahead and save. And then we'll do a live preview of it. And we're going to look at those sections now. So we'll give that a few moments. And you can see now this should be fully functional. Okay, I go to the live view mode now. So this is how it's going to look. And come on, be honest. That looks very clean. And look, I haven't even done anything. Well, I literally didn't do nothing. It didn't take that long also. So you have to understand, it's going to save you a lot of time and a lot of expenses and a lot of headache. So now what do I want to do? I want to select About Us. And check this out, right? It's redirected. Okay. And there's nothing stopping me if I want. I have to make sure if I go to the About Us page, I can put the menu back in there. In the About Us page, I would put the home tab that would then redirect back to the home page. Does that make sense, everybody? But this was just a quick demo, but you kind of get the gist of how you would do it. Just make sure you have those URLs. Now, if I come back now, let's go back to the main website. If I go to beard oil, so this was the other level of coding. If I select beard oil, can you see how quickly it scanned? It went straight to the next section, right? So I dictated where I wanted that to click on the same page. So I could have it go to a download page, watch a video tutorial, go to the checkout button, maybe go to the About Us page, maybe go to a service page, maybe a booking form, whatever it is, you will dictate exactly what you want that function to be. And you show how simple it was to do. Okay. So you can see now, if I go to services, it will be the same thing. It'll go to duplicate of the About Us page because that's what I've designed it to do. If I go to the beard oil, you can see how it's scanned now to that section. So About Us page, remember what we would do in terms of, remember this is a preview, but what we would do, we would go back to the main URL for this website and we would put it back into this button. Okay, we would come to the menu builder and we would assign the URL here. That would always redirect, but on every page that you're going to create, so if I now scroll back, like I mentioned, once you create one template for your unlimited pages, say for example, I created one template like the About Us page, I can then duplicate that page so I don't need to keep doing it. So say for this example, if I went to, the main website here, I could duplicate that technically. This is a long way and I'll delete all the sections and that would keep me having the menu bar without having to do it all again. So just think that in mind the very first time, create one theme template and you can duplicate as many times as you want. You can have unlimited duplications of that themed page with your branding colors, anything, all that information, your footer information, your telephone numbers, all that critical information. And then the main body of the website is, or the template, you can keep intact and you can add whenever you want. So just imagine now, if you're somebody that likes blogging, create a blank template, has all the themed information, and all you do is you're just creating articles. So let's just say if I went back into the edit section, because somebody did ask, can you do blogging essentially? So it would be the same way. You can create brand new articles that are going to get added every day whenever you want. So I would come to, let's go to content blocks. So let's have a look. I would go to articles. And you can see if I wanted to, I could add those articles on a daily basis. And as you would expect, if I come back now, if I wanted to, I can just put that information there, maybe a paragraph or maybe a heading with a date and time. It's completely up to you. Now, a lot of platforms out there will have, especially if you're blogging, Another key thing with bloggers or people that want to do this, if you have a third-party syndication tool, maybe you've got content that you want to syndicate, right? So then, in order to do that, especially with forms, I think this is more advanced level stuff. You would use webhooks. Now, webhooks will allow you to get that information. Say, for example, you had a client now that comes to your page. So coming back to, again, the whole kind of subject of getting clients. So say, for example, your client comes to you now and you've sent them a booking form. So what do I mean by booking form? Say you sent them a contact form like so, just one page like this. You got the information with a video, and they've reached out with their email and a message. I mean, there's different variations of this. So you can have more information with their full name, etc., etc. Now imagine this. Now they've given you their name and email and even a message. So they've sent the information, I'm available. These are the times I'm available. Not only that, obviously, if you've got booking form, survey form, application form, Google Forms and stuff, you can embed those codes within the pages. But let's just keep this simple. A client now contacts you with the information on your page. Now you have the ability, by coming to the forms, that information is now sent to you via the form configuration. So that information can be sent to you. You can set up a webhook, and there will be training on this, a webhook URL, where this information can then be syndicated with things like your own autoresponders. Okay, so it's got all the main autoresponders, but even if your autoresponder isn't listed, you can still go to your autoresponder and use the HTML embed code and actually paste that into ClickSites AI. However, let's just say the client now sends the information, name and email. By using a webhook, you can now use Zapier to take that information, and once it sees in action that a name and email has been sent, it will take that same email and it will drop it into your autoresponder. Okay, your autoresponder where it stores the name and email address. Once it goes into the autoresponder, you can actually then set an action using Zapier again, like a trigger. It will create another action that once that email drops down, it can then trigger, let's just say you've got an application or meeting set up, right? It will send a brand new form you can create using ClickSites AI that will send them a booking link to set up a meeting. So you can create whole automations using these pages because you've got unlimited pages. So this stuff will blow your mind. I know it's a lot to take in, which we're not going to cover now, but I think in the training, if that's something you want to hear more about, I'm pretty sure we can cover that. But you can create whole automations using this by just using the webhooks URL. But we want to keep this simple. We're thinking about clients. We just want to show you how you can get clients. And another thing, coming back to Upwork, using this, it will give you a gist. Especially if you want to find clients, you can use this all day long. There's nothing stopping you from finding clients that might have a $100 budget or $200 budget. It's just a case of just take the action. Now, before I carry on, let me know in the chat box if you have any questions. Is this making sense? Are you excited? Do you kind of see the powerful possibilities with everything in ClickSites AI? And if you haven't got it already, then you can go to clicksites.ai/go. And also you can see there's a link there on my screen. I put that on there, and you can see there's 2 parts payments. On that, you got $168 if you want to go for the full amount, or there's an alternative 7-day free trial. So I'll give everybody a few moments if you want to gather your thoughts and let me know in terms of any questions. But yes, automation tools. I want to make this clear. Yes, it does integrate with autoresponders. We have that API set up for a number of different autoresponders. However, let's just say if your autoresponder is not listed, every autoresponder will have an HTML embed code when you create it in your autoresponder, okay? You can still take that code. You can come into ClickSites AI. And just like so, if I just show you now, let's just say here, if I come here, you've got 2 options. Okay, we've got HTML. You can have the code block. And there's another version here, of Hello World. And all I would do is I would come here, go to settings, and I can actually embed that code for your autoresponder, and it'll give you your name and email address, those fields to enter. Alternatively, if you're somebody a little bit more advanced, yes, you do have the option. You can go to the HTML editor. You've got 2 locations for that. You got one here, HTML, and one at top. So it's completely up to how you want to do it. This also applies if you want to do your tracking, if you're into social media ads, or if you add specialist HTML embed codes for videos, anything you need to embed when it comes to HTML, that's something you can do. Some people asked about, hey, can I put locks on my website for any users that come that locks them without a password? Yes, as long as those third-party devices have that HTML capability, then you can come and you can embed that. So does that make sense, everybody? So just remember, there's no upsells. Another question that comes: there's no upsells. Everything is inclusive. There's no yearly fees or anything in terms of credits that are just going to pop up where you like, you buy something and it's like, you know what? After 12 months, I've got to pay a renewal fee or I've got to top up more credits. No, it's not. Everything is all inclusive. There's no hidden upsells. You are getting everything for the price, okay, included, which is $168. But
And
also
that
you have,
price is
yeah.
increasing, by the way, folks. Okay, in the
When is it
next
increasing,
one
Paul?
hour.
Is there a timer?
Yeah, go to clicksites.ai/go. You will also see that. The
Okay.
timer is
Yeah,
getting
let's have a look.
updated. It's only what right now 1 hour before the next big price increase. So make sure, like there we go. You
Oh,
see
okay.
that
You got
timer in
1 hour left.
there,
Okay.
guys and gals? So that's the one. So that's the next price increase about 1 hour, whatever, 33 seconds. Yeah. So from now, okay.
Okay.
So that means that this is the lowest price you're getting for another hour or 60 minutes, right? So just make sure that you grab it while you can. And again, the thing that I want to mention here is that more than the price, the idea here is that you see the training we're doing, right? We have more of these trainings coming up as well, specialized in specific use cases for you to do. And we want to make it interactive like this as well, right? You guys and gals are liking this where you can ask any question. I mean, you're not censoring anything or anything like that. You can actually come type whatever you want to request, whatever question you have and stuff. And that makes a big difference, right? Because let's say you wanted that one specific thing that already the application does, but you're going through an hour's worth of training or tutorials and stuff, you might have missed it. But having that question answered live like this, where we check your question, right? Like this one, Reed was saying, it's a little overwhelming hanging in there. So instead of getting overwhelmed, it's like, okay, I did it. I got this one thing. Where is that tab? Like, let's say, where do I add meta tags? Or where do I add, say, for example, an opt-in form? How do I do it? Basic stuff, right? Basic stuff for us, but maybe a little bit complicated for you. That can be done live like this in a situation like this, right? Like in a live event like this. And that I think is priceless value. Like I would put something like that as me going to an expert, consulting with them, and instead of paying them by the hour, I'm getting it for free. You see what I'm saying? And that I think is priceless value. That I'll put that more than this one, whatever, 170, 168 bucks, whatever it is, the price is increasing every few hours, right? So whatever the price is right now, I would pay per hour that money for somebody to assist me, right? In cases like that, and you can come in for free, join in, right? And you get your value, you can leave. You have some more questions, you can chime in. So the idea is that you're getting experts, right? Who are not just talking, like we're doing this stuff day in and day out. I've been doing this stuff for 15 years now, right? Full time. And so not only are we doing it in a way where just the software is being created and like the technical side of things, more like we build this stuff day in and day out. Like on a given week, like pages like you saw, right? We're building dozens or even hundreds in some cases of pages like this. So we know what works, what doesn't work. We know what headlines work, what don't work, what design elements work, don't work, right? And because of that, right, that guidance that you're getting here, right, that you see on the screen right now, actually change this slightly here. So just so I can see you folks, right? So the guidance you're getting here is worth infinite like amount of money. Like I right now, when we are building pages right now and stuff, and historically as well, let's say a year ago before ClickSites existed, because we've been working on it for the last few months, actually last 6, 7, 8 months. So I've been using it internally. But the point is that before it existed, the problem was sometimes you're stuck with that one little thing and you have to now find that expert who can guide you through it and solve it. And that person is not online that time. You got to go find them, and then you got to pay them money because they're spending time with you. That alone would have taken 5 or 6 extra days or to solve a simple problem, right? And this here in a live event like this, to come join in, have fun. Yes, it's a lot of fun. We're giving away prizes and stuff today too. I'll give some prizes here too, just to keep things fun. But more than that, it's like, okay, you come in, you ask a question, you get your answers, right? And that is huge. And we have trainings like this for 4 weeks planned, and even beyond that, depending on if you folks show up, right? Like right now, we have a few hundred people across our Facebook group, YouTube, and everywhere else. And if you folks show up, we'd love to keep doing them, right? And that keeps the, if you will, the fun alive as well. And we can keep showing you what all cool things we're adding and all that. And the thing I wanted to mention here is the same concept. I'm seeing all your comments here. I get it. One of the biggest things is like when you jump into something, there's so many options and features and stuff like that. What you have to focus on is the key metric, which is problem solving, right? Why would somebody need a website? Well, to offer their products or services. And then if they have a website already, they're spending a lot of money for it right now, which you can offer a cheaper, better solution, faster, cheaper, better, right? And you can charge money for it. make huge, right? And now the other thing is, in the same line of thinking, if you can do that across scale, which you can do with 500 organizations and workspaces here, that means that if you did it once, you got one home run, got one client, then you can pretty much scale it up right across 500 different clients, and you can keep scaling out even more because infrastructure is built in to handle that. So I just wanted to have that clarity. Does that make sense? Let me know in the chat box. Yes, that makes sense, because I want you to treat these live trainings not so much just, oh, you're coming in and we're just showing you some stuff and all that, but it's more like an interactive thing where you're motivated as well to move along, play around. Like when we're showing you something on the screen, you can go to your screen and play around with it, right? And when you learn this way in a more interactive fashion, then it'll instill upon your mind, and then you can say, well, I was doing it, I ran into this issue, how do we do it? And we'll show you, right? Like we show you the canvas feature where you can move around things. So was one question that came in. We showed you how to build a multi-page website, right? About us page, contact us page and stuff. And these were questions that were asked and we showed you live, right? And the beauty is, because this is on YouTube and our Facebook group and stuff, you can always watch the replay later on too. And your comment will also show up so that you can pause there and watch it, right? And we'll put all these stuff in the members area and stuff as well, right? So this interactive learning is the most important value that anybody can ever do, because time is the most limited asset. Your time is valuable, right? So where we can coming in for that 30 minutes, 1 hour, whatever it is, you get your questions answered, you leave, go do your stuff, right? Somebody else comes in, they'll have their questions answered. It's almost like, you having access to me, right? Or Ali and our team at any given day, and also pulling all 15 years worth of knowledge, right? And basically getting that quickly answered, right? And similarly, right, like there were a lot of good questions here today, and hopefully we answered those, right? Like multi-page websites, SEO elements. The other one was with the canvas feature. One was like, can I redesign elements? What if I want to add animations to the pages, like for example, parallax effects, meaning when they're scrolling down, it pops up things, moves it away, that kind of thing, right? So those little things, otherwise you don't even know exists. In some cases you want to know how it's done. Having somebody live going in and showing you live on a live stream or interactive workshop like this is almost like you came in to a university where the professor is actually answering your questions, but not just answering in a more theoretical fashion, but actually showing you, right? And that's how we learn, right? We human beings will learn, and once it etches in our mind, we know it's possible. Somebody has done it, shown me how it's done. I can also do it now, right? And especially with something like web design, right? Sometimes people get really overwhelmed, right? They think I need to do coding, I need to do HTML, all this other stuff. You don't. With AI, you don't. But that's easier said than done. I can say that, but you go back and you're like, whoa, there were like 100 options. Which one do I do? Right? So the idea is, don't get overwhelmed in that sense. Come in live like this, have your questions answered, and you can leave, right? You got value, you got your answer to your question, you can move on and do your thing, right? And if you want to stick around, where, say, for example, I use these live workshops, a lot of people don't understand. Like, I treat these live workshops as a motivating factor for me, right? Having somebody like Ali here on the other side, and my team is also online. I have him chat right now, where what I'm doing is I'm working, right? I have undivided attention with you folks, but I'm also working. So that means it's almost like you can jump in every day for an hour, a couple of hours like this, right? What happens? You come into these live training sessions, it also motivates you, right? Instead of you thinking, oh, I gotta do this thing, like, I get to do this. That's fun, because now somebody else is there to guide me, right? It's so much more fun and that more interactive way of learning, right? And that's how I want you to see the value here, because oftentimes, right, sometimes I'm trying to do some work, having somebody just available live like this to hear me out alone is motivating for me to do the work I need to do, right? Because we accept the fact that if I can do just 30 minutes of focused action, like what we're doing right now together, that we do every day or every week, couple of times, you're ahead of 99% of the people. Because a lot of people just start to give up, right? They're like, okay, this stuff was cool, but I don't want to compete with these professional coders or whatever. But then the reality is, the coders too are not good designers. The coders too are not good copywriters. The coders too don't have the overall picture in mind of problem solving, right? They just know how to code. Nothing wrong with that. It's just that it's a singular skill set that is not that much of a value as you trying to put the whole solution together, right? And that's how I want you to treat these live training sessions, right? Because I have that question like, are there more trainings? Of course we do, but treat them like hey, I'm going to show up on this. I'm going to work alongside Paul Ali and the team. And then I'm going to also work alongside where I can get my questions answered. I'm focused on that in that 30 minutes, 1 hour, whatever it is. And then I made progress. And you make that progress every single day, a couple of times a week, whatever it might be, you'd be so much more ahead of everybody else, including yourself, right? And that's how I want you to treat it, because you got to understand, this right here, AI website design is, as I mentioned, I keep have to drive home this point sometimes. It's something that is the future that we're having in the present, right? And it's like this. Some like folks like Elon Musk and all these other folks were like, oh, AI robots will come in. They've not come yet, right? They'll come 10 years from now. Who knows when? Then we hear like robots will do farming. They'll build houses for us, all that stuff. Not there yet. Today, as we speak, AI can build websites, and 99% of the world doesn't even know that, right? You're learning. And since you're in the early stages, you can actually leverage this knowledge or use this knowledge for your benefit, right? Because we all know, right? Once the information everybody knows, your local neighbor knows it, and your your coworker knows it, or your friends and your family knows it, it's too late. Like same thing happened with ChatGPT, right? Those who were doing AI to write articles and stuff like that, well, at the end of the day, it was such a brand new technology before ChatGPT that I was using AI to write scripts and write video scripts, audio scripts, voiceovers and stuff. The minute ChatGPT came and it came into the hands of everybody, now the edge that I had was not as much, right? And with AI website, that's what's going to happen in the next couple of years, where those who join in now, even if you decide it's not for you and leave, it's okay, no problems. Just the fact that you're involved in an industry that is like growing like crazy, right? If you see the charts, you'll be blown away. It's growing like crazy. Right now, trillions of dollars with a T are being invested in it right now across for the infrastructure and for all these other things. You're in the right place at the right time, probably the only time, right? Because you must have missed the mobile revolution, social media revolution, internet revolution, or even for that matter, personal computer revolution. This is one of those, right? And you're in the right place at the right time. And even when we were looking at research and stuff, we were always seeing what Google is doing, what is Microsoft doing, what is Apple doing, and all these other big companies, right? And I'm just blown away by how close we are, where for the first time, what an engineer at Google has access to, you have, right? What somebody at Microsoft has access to, I have, right? There's no difference in terms of the technological capabilities. What you only need is awareness and understanding that somebody's out there to motivate you, somebody's out there to push you, somebody's out there to assist you, almost like having them behind your shoulder to guide you, do this, and then you can go back and just implement it, right? And then it simplifies things a lot. That way you don't have any hurdles that is stopping you, right, from taking you to the next level. I know it sounds simple, but understand that, right? Like imagine if I told you, right, hey, come on here, I'll have a phone call with you, we'll talk together, and then we'll set up your business and set up some websites and stuff like that. That's very theoretical. But instead, if I say, hey, come on an interactive Google Meet or YouTube or whatever we're doing right now, and then there ask a question, I'll take your question and I'll actually show you, right, how to solve what you're trying to solve. You want to put a menu, this is how you do it. You want to add an image, this is how you do it. You want to resize the image, you want to do this. You want to have the entire AI rebuild the design and the layout and everything, do it. You see how we're doing it right now live in front of your eyes? That alone is something that is no amount of money it's priceless, right? You cannot put any value for that, right? And that's how I learned. I'm sure a lot of you folks as well learn this way, right? Having somebody just show you. You don't have to go through, let's say, hundreds of hours worth of education or courses and stuff. And to just come in a few minutes, have your question answered. Now you're good. And if you have even more answer you need, you ask, you're done, right? This is how the interactive learning will be, okay? So yeah, Ali, sorry, I had to go on a tangent here, but it's so important people understand the value of interactive learning like this.
So as Paul's doing it, I'll just kind of demonstrate. I think that, yeah, it's true though, isn't it? Especially sometimes people underestimate the ability of doing Q&As like this, because I'm pretty sure many of you, when you've reached out to either support and different companies and stuff, they don't really, they don't really answer the questions the best way. It's more robotic, or just some preset templates. But this gives you the option. Some of you may come and go. You go have a cup of tea, you go for an hour or two, you come back. You're building out your website, you have a question, come back. And we had the questions about the menu and stuff like that. So sometimes it could be that one little thing that you need a bit of clarity on that kind of holds you back. And once you've got that information, then you're off again. So just coming back, you probably, I don't know if you have noticed, but in terms of the editor, can you see you do have the option if you do like have changing the colors around if you're working at night. If you simply come here to the three little dots here more, you can actually go to settings and you can play around with the theme of it. So if you want it white or black, depending whatever you like, you can change it. And the other reason I want to show you that, because if you come to this section of the three dots and you select information, this might be important, especially for a client as well. So you can actually give them the information that how many words you've used in the website. The reason being because you could actually dictate, the amount of effort and how many words, because each word, especially when it comes to articles and stuff, could also correlate to the amount of price that you charge, because it's your time and money, isn't it? It's that investment. So it's more information that is always better. Now, you also have the ability here, you can see, of having videos, okay, video backgrounds. So just to show you that we do have, there's animations here. So you've got videos, and there's also animated preset styles in terms of sections. So what I mean by that, let's go ahead and let's just select one of them. If I scroll now, can you see that? Okay, so you can actually, customize. You have that unlimited ability to customize your pages as you see fit, just to give it that, that more futuristic feel and look. So it's ahead of its time, as you would expect. Not, boring static stuff nowadays that you see. If you want that high level of, if you want to be charging premium prices, then you need something in terms of building premium websites, isn't it? And this will give you that ability to do so. Something like this, you can actually come in and you can actually change that video, right? Like so. Where's that video gone? Hey, you got that video. Hey, simply in terms of the video, you can put the URL in there, or if you want, you can actually add your own HTML codes. Now, another question that popped up, let's just say, for example, if I've got an image here, let's just say I've got this image here. Okay, let's go to the editor here. I've got this image. What did I want to? Yes, okay. If I go to the editor, let's just say I've got this image here. Oh, where's it gone? Here we go. Go to settings. If I go to, the responsiveness of it. Another thing I wanted to mention. So say, for example, if you wanted to say a particular client says, for whatever reason, maybe he's doing split testing, right? Maybe he just wants something to be a bit more optimized, or because he's using advertisements, maybe on a device that they don't want to have images shown, opposed to it being a desktop, opposed to a mobile or laptop. Now, you do have the ability, depending on the device that you're using, you can actually dictate what device you want it to actually be visible. So you can actually change the visibility of an image on whatever particular device you may choose. So say, for example, if I want it just to be shown on desktop, I leave it as visible. But if I want iPad, I can actually make that hidden. Okay, I can actually make that hidden, and it'll show me what it looks like, right, on each device. If I make it visible again, it has now unlocked, like so. So really important stuff. For small, they may seem very small, but they're really, really important. Okay. And another great thing is that if you want, if you simply come here to this section in terms of an image, not upload, let's go select. Okay, so clickable, in terms of the content, you can actually change the image, and certain things you can make clickable. So what I mean by that is that instead, this asset, you can actually make it link. You can add a URL specifically to this graphic. So say, for example, you've got digital product, maybe a payment, if any call to action in terms of a link, if you want to redirect that user by putting a link directly. Because one thing that does happen, I don't know why, maybe you've done this before. If you go on a website, sometimes there's an image, people will generally click an image. I don't know why. Right? So you could, if you want to get a better engagement, a better click-through rate, essentially, then you can make these images clickable, that you could redirect them to your payment page, maybe an affiliate product, to their sales page, and so on and so forth. Another great thing is that, you can edit images, you can change the dimension, so you're not just stuck, and you can actually do that by freehand as well, depending on what you want, if you want to crop that image down. Another great thing is, yes, you can upload yourself, and then you do have the ability to have that. Now, in terms of, because I know this gets covered, everyone says, is this like an e-commerce site? Now, remember, this is a HTML editor. It's not like Shopify and all these other e-commerce style sites. However, having said that, you can actually add e-commerce style sections and pro design blocks. So what that means, if I go to the shop, you've got two aspects. You've got shop here, and there's also pricing. Two main key components. If I select shop, let's keep something simple. Let's keep this as a section here, 2 images. Those 2 images here will have buy now and view details. The reason I mention this, you may find clients that want more sites orientated around e-commerce style sites, or maybe digital products or physical products. Okay. And before actually, well, let me show you this, and I'll show you something else in just a moment. So say, for example, if I want to come here, and let's just say with this, you've got this image, you can come around and you can change it. You can do whatever you want with it anyway. Now, if I got the buy now button, I'll simply come in here and I can put my payment URL. So if I want to redirect the user, where they click it and it goes to a payment link, maybe you've got PayPal ID or Stripe, or whatever it may be, you can do that. You can redirect them to any button. You have the option if you want that to open a new window, or you want it to refresh in the same window, or in terms of opening a lightbox. Now, I wouldn't add the lightbox there. I would simply go to the view details, because generally, if somebody wants to view details, you could create a separate page that is then offering that information, like a review, or maybe more specific details around a product. So imagine you're selling some kind of food item. Maybe you want to show what the ingredients are. Maybe there's a digital product, like a physical product, like a TV, maybe the specifications, or maybe the details around, let's say there's an ebook. Maybe you've got the what's it called, the content page. Maybe, whatever you want to do, you can actually put that there. Now, what I would do for that, right, I could come here and I can actually assign a file. So somebody mentioned this. Yeah, you can actually have, look, there's an audio there that you could actually add, or if I wanted to make an image pop up, okay, I could do that in a new window, or I could, have it in a light box. I'll simply select OK, and that's it. That's assigned. So these little things go a very long way, and it just makes a much more futuristic, seamless experience for the user, which is very, very important, because we want to make sure that we're keeping our users on our website, and that will lower our bounce rate. So essentially, the key here, if you really want to get the most out of a user coming onto your website, you want to make sure they're staying on your website as long as possible. If it's an ugly, boring website, especially if you're dealing with clients, they want to see these animations. They want to see this next level of graphics and designs, and how these sections are, because that basically means that users are actually going to spend more time on your website, get more educated about the product or the service that you're offering, and they're going to be more inclined to the call to action of buying the product from you. I think that's the key thing here. So once you understand these parts, then obviously it's much more easier for you to convey that information to the client, and for them to actually take action and buy it. So let's just say if you got an e-commerce store, if you wanted to, in terms of if you got a Shopify store, whatever it may be, generally they do give you the pixel code, don't they? HTML code, sorry. I would simply come here, and I've got the little section here. Let's just say I've got a couple of choices. I've got this little add little box here. I can put the HTML code here, and you can see that populates it. Now I've got a choice also with this brand new edition that you saw in the basic section. You do have the canvas mode. So if I wanted to, I can put the separate sections here for each block as I want, and I can move it around. It doesn't matter. You have that free hand capability. Now, before I forget, what I'm going to do, let's just jump over to, let's quickly have a look at Fiverr, because I was having a look at this earlier on. So imagine, could you create landing pages? Technically, you could, because you have these opt-in capabilities. So you could go to the end user, the client, if they've got their HTML code from their autoresponder, or if they gave you the autoresponder, you could offer that as an upsell package that, hey, let me set that up all for you. But the reason I wanted to come over here is for those that say, you know what, maybe I don't want to go to people individually using Google or other methods or different websites. Fiverr is another great place, opposed to, Upwork. They're all great places, but we just want to make sure you've got a couple of options. But there's nothing stopping you from going to Google itself and typing Fiverr alternatives, or maybe Upwork alternatives, or even using the ClickSites AI and asking what are the best methods of reaching clients, or what sites will be the best. It will give you that information. It's literally on your fingertips. Now, the reason I brought Fiverr up is it's a great place that you can actually get started, and it will give you also an idea what people are offering, especially at price points and how they're getting started. Another great thing is that it will allow you to build up your portfolio if you want it to. So from here, you can see the other reason why. Okay, this is another great way. So here you can see it's a landing page, a simple page. If I go into this gentleman's page right here now, the reason I mention it, a lot of people have asked, how much should I be charging? Should I offer packages, or should I offer upsells? Now, this is a great place to do research. I'm not saying you have to model this, but this will give you an idea of starting and kind of seeing what price points are out there and something what you can offer. So here's a basic short form landing page, up to 3 sections. Remember, come back to ClickSites AI. Each one is a section. So this guy is charging money just for 3 ultimate sections. Okay, so coming back to his one, he's charging £281. Now, let me see if I can scroll up here and let's change. What is the currency? Don't know if it'll change around here. Currency. Let's go to the dollars. And let's see how much he's charging in dollars. Just for those 3 sections. $350 just for that, with one functional website, and he's given a 1-day delivery. So maybe he's got a website builder, but you could do that in less than a couple of hours if you wanted to, and $350. Now, if I go back to ClickSites AI, the sales page, right, $168 as a one-off full payment. So he's already made his money back, right? So you got to think about how you can service clients, not only in an efficient and effective, quick amount of time, but also you're getting a greater return, right? So let's just say you done 1 client per day at $350. That's a lot of revenue. You could just sit back and relax on $350 per day. Now, if you went and got the calculator out and times that by, let's say, 7 days a week, 3 times 7, let's just say 7, 14, 21. That's about, what is it? $2,100. Times that by 4, 2,468, maybe $8,000 per month. He could be generating in revenue if he just done 1 basic package per day. That I'm just giving you approximation. Now you've got to think to yourself, if he's doing it, why can't you do this? I'm just giving you an example, okay? So sometimes you have to get a little bit heated about these and get a bit frustrated and say, why is everyone else going out there building their business and why are you not? So use this frustration as a kind of a fuel to actually take some level of action and get going. So just average 1. Now, if I move on to his long form page, he's using 6 sections now, and he's jumped up to about $600. And he gives the revisions for you. You can do those revisions because we have AI. So imagine now, in terms of revisions, I simply come in now and I use the AI rewrite or I use the AI redesign. I haven't done anything. I let the AI do it. I just churn it out. I get that brand new updated version made. And then I take that link and I send it to the client and say, okay, it's done. Now, it's up to you if you want to do that within a couple of minutes and send it, or you could wait a couple of hours, if not days, because it looks like you've been spending days on it. Right, so it's up to you. I'm just giving you an idea, right? So you want to be ethical about it, but I'm just showing the turnaround time can be very, very quick. Alongside that, now you have the AI system with even more features. You can use the complete image generating specifically. You can narrate, speech to text now. You've got command prompts that can actually go through all of this stuff. You should get excited about this stuff. And now you have this here, right here. First landing page with an effective on-site SEO, structured data with Google up with 10 sections. 10 sections for $1,000. Okay, so right now, yes, I know I'm going to try to be as reserved as possible, conservative with the pricing as possible. So even if you're charging half of that for each package, it is reasonable and it's doable, and I think it's achievable as long as you actually you focus on it. Now, if I come here, build a complete website. Let's have a look. Let's have our websites. Wow, this is crazy. $1,000 here. Someone that's got a brand new account, I would say, probably a brand new account that's got six people that have given feedback for $1,000. Let's have a quick look at it. Now, you tell me, don't you think your website using ClickSites AI is going to be 100 times better? And they've only got 3 images, and they look kind of, I don't know where they grabbed them from. Now, do you understand that somebody doesn't care? And I'm pretty sure this person, let's see where they're based and located. Let's have a look. Does it say here? Okay, this gentleman here is from Pakistan. Okay, so I would imagine, especially someone from Pakistan, is going to have probably limited proficiency in speaking English. However, it didn't stop them from finding a client probably more US based or on a globally. And they've got no issues charging $1,000. So you have to now ask yourself, what's your excuse? right? And I think it's a reasonable thing to ask. Now it gets crazier than that because I've just seen he's got packages, right? Everything that we've got here, look, okay, in the first one, okay, web payment processing, we don't need that. Analytics, we have number of pages, revisions, we can do unlimited on ours. Website copy, we've got the AI content generator. Website development, it's the same thing. We've got it's an advanced HTML editor inbuilt. Hosting setup, hey, look, we've got a private hosting. We can set them up with it. It's not a problem. If they have their own hosting, we can set that up for them as well. Responsive design. Yes, we've got responsive design over a multiple number of different devices, alongside that with a brand new feature of being the canvas, which is freehand use now. That also gives that ability of responsiveness as well. So you don't have to spend more time trying to fix that up. Website design. Remember, we've got preset style, beautiful design templates that are ready to go. And guess what? We're not even lifting a finger. Everything is done for us. Okay. So he's got $1,000, $1,500, and $2,500. Okay. The only difference is he's got e-commerce here. We don't need to worry about that. That's not something we're doing. Medium-sized business and one website business. Okay. 5 pages, 10 pages. In terms of SEO, another great question. When your pages are being built, that is something that's tuned in, let's just say, with the recipe of how the artificial intelligence works in the background. Alongside that, if you did jump into the page itself, if we go to the cog here, we have an SEO setting that will allow you to actually change the title, the description, and also additionally, you've got the robot settings where you can get the pages indexed and you can enable the follow mode on there that will allow you to really optimize those pages further so it hits high ranking. Ultimately you're trying to get it ranked highly in the search engine. So we have these additional settings, but please remember that the SEO aspect has already been fine-tuned in when the pages are being built. Okay. Alongside that, yes, you do have the ability of changing favicon as you would expect. But these are some of the key aspects, and then you do have the extra features of the analytical tool. So once your page is set up, you can kind of see where your traffic's coming from, what mobile devices that traffic is coming, where the viewers are coming from, and so on and so forth. And even how long are they spending time on your pages. And that kind of information, why is that crucial? Because now you can actually relay that back, for example, to your client. And you can say these are, that kind of data is invaluable. Data, right? So you can actually say this is where the clients are coming from. These are the people that are most viewing those clients. So if you're running ads now, as an example, you could increase those ads to the countries or continents that are your sites are being more viewed at, opposed to the ones that aren't getting viewed. You would cut down the ads or the location of those ads that are getting sent out to. So I don't want to say too much because it will be a bit overwhelming, but I guess, yeah, someone said there's so much included in ClickSites AI. So yeah, there's a lot, and it may take us days. I mean, even the training just to go through it, and there'll still be more stuff coming out. However, just be rest assured and confident that, wow, this encompasses so many high-level AI tools, artificial intelligence tools, under one umbrella of ClickSites AI. It's not a case you're going to come and get this this application, and then you're like, you know what, it's missing this. I need to go over there. It's content generator. I need to go get an AI content writer. I need to go get another tool for cropping images, or maybe, adding autoresponder. Remember, one of the bonuses is going to be the ability to as an autoresponder that is going to be added. Okay, so there's so many different functionalities that have been added and given to you, so you don't need to go elsewhere. So that's essentially saving you a lot of time and expenses, so you can actually use that revenue, those expenses, and reinvest in your businesses and put that money where it counts the most. Whether you need to do your outreach, maybe you want to run social media ads, or maybe you need to start traveling to destination, meeting clients. So that's another thing. Meeting clients, I would suggest, sometimes you have to bite the bullet and go meet people face to face, because it's a lot easier. Now, let me show you this page, because before I forget, because I did have this page open. So when it comes to levels of integration, so say, for example, because someone mentioned this, and I want to mention this earlier on, and I completely went off somewhere else. So webhook URL. So just imagine now, because I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he goes, look, I normally use sites, or I want a level of integration that goes towards my tax accounting. Okay, I think he used something called Tax Dome for my memory. I could be wrong. So let's just say, can you actually do that? And I think someone else was using Zoho or different CRMs. Now, what you ideally would do, if I come here into Zapier, Zapier is one of the integrations you can use. You can actually use Pabbly as well. If I went to create, let's create a new Zap. I just want to show you this very quickly because I don't want to. It can come a little bit overwhelming. Maybe it needs its own day for it. Okay. If I come to now trigger, I come to the trigger section here, and what would I expect? I'm looking for popular built-in tools. Okay. I come to webhooks by Zapier. Now, once I've selected that, can you see that it's already made that for me? Now, what I would do, I want to trigger an event. We'll keep this really simple. All I'm going to simply select is catch hook. Right. I continue. And then it says pick off child key. I know this stuff is confusing to me, and that's why I'm just going to ignore it. No, you can ignore it. You don't need to enter anything. Just simply continue. And that hook has now been added. Okay. So what I would ideally do, and let me just kind of show you for example purposes. So let's just say if I go to sections here, let's go to contact. Let's find contact. Let's add this here. So okay, there's a contact right there, and let's save that. Let's open that up. I believe you should ideally publish it anyway, but you need there will be a tutorial on this as well because this is going to be a little bit more advanced, so I'll make sure I cover that for you. So don't worry, please don't think too far ahead. Remember, we just want to cover the simple stuff first. Okay, so what I'll do, let's just open this up and let's scroll down. Let's find that opt-in that was placed. Here we go. So let's just say John Doe at Gmail. And you're probably thinking I've put in the wrong field. And yes, you're right. But don't worry. We can just simple copy and paste. Let's just do test 1, 2, 3. And let's just do message. Send that. Okay. Because it's not really connected now. Okay. It's not connected as of yet. However, let's just close this. I come back to Zapier. Let's just test the trigger. Okay, because it's not connected right now. We're just going to ignore it. We're going to ignore this test. However, I just want to show you how this would look, essentially. So let's skip this one. But can you see this URL here, this webhook? I would copy it. I would come back to my site here and go to forms. And I would select right there like this and save it. Oh, that's probably my mistake. I didn't even save it, did I? Okay. Okay, so what we'll do, let's just try this one more time. My mistake, johndoe@gmail.com. Hopefully there's not a real John Doe out there. Hello. Okay, let's come here. Test trigger. Okay, we'll ignore that at the moment because it's a bit complicated right now. Okay, but you get the gist of it. I put the hook there now. That's done. Just imagine that's done and it's working for you, okay? Now what I do, I skip this test and let's continue. Now, next, it's asking me, what do I want to connect the app to? So just imagine now, let's just say, tricky one. Let's just say I got get response. Okay, it can be anything that you want. Your autoresponder, okay? So once I got the autoresponder there, I can connect my autoresponder. Now, alternatively, imagine now, when that email contact from that user goes, the name and email, and plus it could be message, it goes into my get response account. Once it gets into my get response account, I can connect it. And as soon as it gets in there, I can create another step, a trigger. So as soon as that information gets into my autoresponder, I remember the gentleman, he had, was it Tax Dome? Let's see if it's there. Let's have a look. Tax Dome. I don't know if it'll be there, but let's just say some kind of tax. Tax Dome. Look at this. Tax Dome. Okay, perfect. But I would need to add it though. So you would have to go and you could connect this app now within this. Okay, but for what I'll do actually, let's connect anything else. Let's just pretend. Let's just say Zoom, like a Zoom meeting call. Okay. Does that make sense? So as soon as that information comes here as soon as the information comes to our website, it then drops into the autoresponder. So now I can actually email market my clients or my prospects or whoever's on my blogging list, my marketing list, my product list, my customers, whoever they may be. Now, as soon as that information gets recorded and it's dropped into my autoresponder, I can then create another trigger or an action that information now sent to my accounting. Okay, let's just say my accountant, maybe my booking page, maybe my survey page, right? My meeting page, anywhere I dictate, I can do. And there will be, maybe if you have a membership site, I'm pretty sure there'll be other little ingredients and other integrations you can do. So you're not restricted by it. You just have to come and spend the time actually building these things out. Does that make sense, everybody? So you're not limited. So there's high levels of integration you can do. You just have to come spend the time. And even if you come to the helps desk, you can actually go through and explore articles how to create the best zaps or actions and integrations for your business and automation. It depends on your needs. Another great way I used to do, I mean, you don't have to do this, but you could, once a level of information comes here, you can have that survey that the survey form gets sent out. And then once the survey form gets sent out, you can have the information for the client then to book a private booking call with you, like a discovery session. That's something that you could do. So just bear that in mind. Does that make sense? What I'll do, let's have a look at the questions and let's go through some of the questions as well. So hopefully we've covered quite a lot, and I know I don't want to overwhelm anyone. So
I think this
am
is
I
a
allowed to?
perfect time to segue into the comment that John has posted, which is yes, the
Sure.
price is going up in 20 minutes. That's the next price. So this is the lowest you're gonna get in terms of the pricing. So you see that countdown timer Ali has put up 20 minutes. That's when the next price increase is coming. So Andrea was asking, is today the last day? Because I see an account. So I think the question was like, is today the last day? Today's not the last day. However, today is like in 20 minutes is the next price increase. So if you want to lock in the lowest possible price you're going to get this for, this is the time to do so. Now, the last day will be in a few days time, probably end of the week or so. So the idea here is that when that happens though, a lot of the features will be removed and it'll become an add-on for new customers. You'll be grandfathered in. What I mean by that is the workspaces, for example. Workspace is 500 right now, which is crazy. Which means, in other words, you can manage 500 client businesses, client organizations, client websites. You can build any amount of pages, right? Unlimited traffic, all that kind of good stuff. Also, you're getting 10 team collaboration accounts, meaning you can add in members, right? Even you can add in your clients too as a team member, right? Because they can go ahead and do whatever they want if you want. And similarly, as well as you saw there's 50 white label accounts as well. You can brand the software as your own, put your own logo, and you can sell it. We'll be having a specialized training on that too, by the way, coming up. Where do you sell it? How much you sell it for? Who do you sell it to? Because we're talking about selling the websites today. We're going to be talking about selling the application as your own. You get 50. Those will all become their own upsells, right? Later on, meaning in other words, people have to pay more money for that. Here, it's all included into one. There's no upsells, nothing additional to buy. Okay, you see what Ali is showing there as well, the branding and stuff. You can put your own logo, you can brand it however you want, and then sell the application as your own, right? And generate a revenue stream for that. And very important, because when you are trying to sell, you want to put your own branding and stuff like that, right? Obviously, right? So that's the idea. So let me actually, I'll actually share my screen here real quick myself, and I'll show you this really quick because it's so cool. Here, watch. Let me share. All right, cool. So you see this, right? If you go here, you see this right here in the white label thing. This is also included. You don't have to buy anything. So meaning when you get it today, for that 70 free trial, or if you get that 167 bucks or 168 bucks or whatever it is, it's going up every time. It's maybe 170, 180, whatever it is. The next price increase is $20. Sorry, 20 minutes. Could be $20. But anyway, the point is, when you go to the white label, you'll have specialized training on this. If you see here, right, in the white label settings, there's branding. You see how it says click sites here? You can cut it and add your own branding. Okay, this could be your own logo. This could be anything you desire. Isn't that cool? So just think of it, right? Like isn't that exciting? Because if you see here, if I go back, let's put this up here. If you see here, if I scroll down real quick here, right? This alone, right? The fact that you can rebrand and sell the application itself with these 50 white label accounts alone is worth thousands of dollars. We're actually going to be charging $29 a month just for this one plan as an upgrade to others. It's just because we got a handle and we're competing, right? Technically, we're allowing you to compete with us. You don't have to develop the software yourself, the customer support yourself. You don't have to do updates and bug fixes yourself effectively, right? If you think about it. And this alone is huge, right? A huge value if you think about it. So effectively, let's say you want to add any logos or anything like that, you can add that in and put your market as your own, and you're good to go, right? Say for example, I go back here, so I put your site as a logo. I'm just putting some random one here, and then you can give tutorials pages. You can put demo videos of your own, whatever you want. The tutorials as well coming up next week will be unbranded as well, so you can give those as well to users. I put Sales Letter Pro as the brand name now. I save it. White label settings are saved. You see how it says here, the app.salesletterpro.com, right? And then you have the CNAME record to add. That effectively means that every time people go to this domain name, right? You see how it says your site now? That is your domain, right? I can obviously do a better job with the logo, but I just wanted to show you how your logo will appear here, right? So every time people go in, it'll be your domain name, your logo, and basically here. And then same thing also applies with this as well. You see the SMTP settings, you can put your own SMTP so that the password reset email will be through you with your domain name, right? With your brand name and stuff like that, right? So every time somebody's trying to log in, we have tutorial on how to do it. So the support email is tagged to you. The app is tagged to you. See, everything will be yours. So that way, this is yours now, instead of it being ClickSites. Like instead of the ClickSites branding, you see this is the ClickSites branding on the top. It'll be your logo, whatever you decide, okay? That alone will be $29 a month in addition. You're getting it included, meaning you log in today, you're gonna get access to this. You're not gonna have any upsells, downsells, cross-sells, whatever they name it these days, one-time offers. I mean, these marketers, they try to put like words to just say the same crap, which is pay us more money, which we don't want to do. That's why, regardless, even if you go to the ClickSites website, right, whether you get the 7-day trial, this option where you put in all, which is a little bit, you're saving a little bit more money here, like about a few bucks here, like $10 or so. Regardless, right, whether you got this or this, will treat you the same in terms of the, other than the fact this is a little bit more expensive in the end, but it will treat you the same. You're going to get access to all this stuff, test drive the whole thing, see for yourself if it's worth it. And similarly, as I mentioned before, now the beauty with this is, once you get it, you log into the application. There's nothing else for you to buy inside. This is huge because if you were to buy other stuff, we could have sold you other stuff, right? We'd have made more money doing it. But the idea here is that you should come comfortably on these training calls without being forced to buy other stuff, right? This is the most irritating thing and frustrating thing you might know. Let me in the comment section if you feel this, right? You get something, you're excited, then they say, oh, what you bought? Well, buy more stuff, right? Here, it's when it says all access, it's all access, meaning you get everything, right? You go inside, there's not like buy this, buy extra, blah, 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 right? Making a mess of everything and confusing you even further, right? And we're actually losing money doing this. But the idea here is that what we want is to get your feedback, and we have our Facebook group, right? Our community here. I'm always talking to our customers. See here, I'm talking with Larry, he gave some suggestions. I'm chatting with people here all the time like this. You see, we have a community of people posting every day, and I'm always there. My team is always there. There's 50,500 people in this community of like-minded people like yourself. We always help each other out, and this alone is priceless because here's the thing, right? When you give us feedback and stuff, we are building this on with your feedback and improving it further and further. And then it becomes so good that there's nobody who can compete with us. Then even when we price it higher for new customers later on, they'll be happy to pay it because it's the best of the best. It's not even close. Like imagine this, right? When we, like for example here, right? We're basically breaking even, not making that much for profit. All it goes into development costs, server costs, and all that stuff, to be frank here. Here, for example, right? If you look at it, 50 white label accounts, like that alone is something that is a revenue stream. Just this 500 Workspace is another revenue stream. 500 custom domains is a revenue stream for you, right? Team collab accounts is a revenue stream for you, right? You can outsource it and all that kind of stuff. And then what happens is now you have a bunch of us working together, right? We're working together as a community, and the community is helping each other. It's maybe I'm not online at midnight my time, although I try to be awake all the time. But if I'm not online, then somebody else in the community will help you, right? And so what I'm trying to explain is, yeah, there's 12 minutes and all that. That's all fine. The price is going to go up and all that. But just understand that you're getting everything included, right? You don't have to buy anything. Other people in the future will, and they'll have no choice, because what they're going to do, and I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to come in and they're going to see these other platforms out there, like Durable or Wix.com, right? Like this one right here. It's a monthly billing, $95 a month with just 5 businesses and like 5 workspaces, you could say, right? Doesn't come with white label. Doesn't come with, for example, some of the other stuff we've added, like redesigning the entire layout like I showed you today, right? Some of these other things, we got that with your feedback, because the number one biggest feedback was, hey, I got the AI website builder. I know I can use it for my own personal use, but if I want to build it for clients, give me a generous thing, which is 500 workspaces, so that I don't get stuck after 5. And then I have to keep paying a monthly fee. There's no monthly fees here. It's all included for one-time price. Other people will end up paying a monthly fee just for the, like I said, workspaces and the white label alone will be a monthly fee. That's the only way we can sustain, because we're offering hosting here, allowing you to ability to download HTML. What's stopping you right now, right? For example, to get it, and then build 500 websites, download them, and then now you have beautiful websites that you can build on top of with any other builder. That's the flexibility you get from the ability to download the HTML and the websites you build. You can port it offline and all that. Very powerful, right? And that is priceless if you think about it. So that's what I wanted to explain to you here, is that our group of community of people help each other out. They're all motivated, which is alone priceless. The ability to come on live streams and live workshops like this where you can ask questions is almost like you're in the room with me. The energy is the same. And also, obviously, with something like an AI website builder, there's so many features we could add. But the thing is, your feedback, right? When you're building and you have suggestions, is what our roadmap will be having. We'll be releasing our roadmap next week, where we're already going to populate. Why don't we release our roadmap today? It's because of the fact that we want to take in your feedback. I have suggestions, you have suggestions, our team sees, our support desk has suggestions. Then we populate all of them in a roadmap, so you're not seeing an empty roadmap. You'll see like a bunch of stuff. You guys and gals can vote for it, and then we'll go and basically implement those over the coming days, weeks, months, and that sort of thing, right? It's only going to get better and better. And because of that, because of the fact that it is designed from the ground up, keeping in mind the ability for you to sell the websites to clients, keeping in mind the ability for you to sell the application itself with the 50 white label accounts, you can sell it, keep every single penny of the profit. You don't want any royalties or anything like that. All these are infrastructure based that no other company can do, because we built it keeping you in mind, right? So that's the huge thing, because I was waiting for so many platforms for the last couple of years, these so-called AI builders, and then allow me to download the website. Won't allow me to do it because they're afraid that if I do that, I'll cancel the subscription thereafter, because they all are monthly subscriptions, right? They're to give me 500 custom domains. Or go get our enterprise plan, which is where you got to pay more money, like $500 to $1,000 a month. And even that doesn't have 500 workspaces and accounts. Why? Well, they will lose 500 potential customers they could get if they're pricing it like this, right? Like if they have a $25 per month plan, then at the end of the day, I mean, that's how it works, right? So they basically want 500 companies to pay them $25 a month rather than getting losing money. We are willing to let go of it because we know who our customers are, we know who you are, we know what your needs are, right? And we're willing to build based on that, right? So I just want to say, forget about these 8 minutes and all that. Yes, the price is going to go up. That's all great. You want to get it for lowest possible price, but the community, the ability for you to listen to other people and have a collaboration here, live streams and workshops we're having. And for something like an AI website builder where there's so many little toggles and here and there, having somebody go through it and show you, so you don't have to go through some 100 hours worth of some university degree or something to learn stuff that AI can do in a couple of minutes is worth it, right? So I hope that makes sense. I know I'm seeing some questions, so I'll try to answer them as well, a couple of questions, but just make sure you get it now, folks, okay, in the next 8 minutes. It's the lowest possible price you're going to get it for, and I don't want you to miss out for any reason. If you, even if it's a maybe, give it a shot. At least get the 7-day free trial and see for yourself if it's worth it. See for yourself the training is great, the support is great. See for yourself if you're not familiar with us. Like one of the things people ask is, okay, I paid this one-time single payment. How can you maintain this thing long term, right? I've been in this business for 15 years. We have our Facebook community, right? As well, right? As you can see here. So you can, for a fact that you're not going away anywhere, right? Like we have other business model is that we reach so many users, right? Like we have potentially hundreds of thousands of customers we can reach in the future, right? So I just want you to understand that, okay? It's so important for you to understand. So go to clicksites.ai/go and get it right now. And the other thing is that the other question that came in was, you're saying create unlimited AI websites, but you're saying 500 custom domains. What's the difference between this and this and this? Okay, so it's very simple, okay? Let's say you're building a website, right? In a website, let's say, let me open up one of them. Actually, I have one, I think, here. Yeah, so you're having this, right? This is my DJ services website, right, that I built in front of your eyes, DJ Paul services. So basically in this, I could have contact us page. I could have subdomains in this page where I can have all kinds of pages, and unlimited pages I can build and I can link it to each other and all that. Now, DJ Paul wants his own website. He has his own domain name, right? That I want to link to with our web hosting, right? Then you would create a workspace for DJ Paul, which is this 500 workspaces. That's like a business, right? 500 organizations, right? So under that organization, you could have unlimited pages, subdomains, pages, and stuff like that. Custom domains means that it'll have djpaul.com, let's say, right? And that can have any amount of pages under it, right? Folders or whatever, right? So as for example, like you see how it says clicksitesai./go, that go is a folder. So you could have any amount of folders like that, for example, right? And then the custom domains means you can point to it, okay? Does that make sense? So let's say, for example, you want to work with 500 businesses separately. They all want their own domain name. They all want their own folders. And, for example, they all want their own images, designs, about us pages, contact us pages, whatever complications, flexibilities they need, you can manage those. That's what it means. So under those, you can build any amount of websites. And the other cool thing when it comes to that is if you go here, let me actually pull that up actually if I can, real quick here. There we go. Cool. All right. So here, if you see let me actually pull this up one sec. Yeah. So here, right? So if you go into this section here, like you see, right? Every page that you have is downloadable. Okay. So for example, if you go into any of these pages, whatever you want, like this upscale barbershop I created, right? You go in here, right? See this barbershop? Click at it. So you can download this. You see this download button on the top right? Right? You see this one right here? So that means, in other words, when we say unlimited websites, that's also where you can download unlimited websites you build, right? You like anything, you want to keep it, you can download it and you can, back it up, have a personal copy. You can edit it with other applications out there because the code is super clean. Any HTML editor will edit this stuff. Ours is the easiest because it has AI elements, but if you want to port it over, you can do it. That's what we mean by unlimited also. That's the other benefit you get, right? So the idea here is that 500 workspaces, in other words, means that you can manage 500 businesses, right? That you can do 500 separate businesses. And you want to, once you get to 500 businesses, right? You want to basically grow further. We'll be happy to talk to you. I mean, we'll give it to your break-even cost. It's fine. Not a big deal. But it's more than worth it because even if each business pays you $800 or something like that per website, right? It's worth it, right? It's enough scale for you to go there. Similarly, right? The team accounts, right? Like if you have outsourcers or you want to give it to freelancers, family members or whatever, you can do the same thing. That's what team collab means. You're editing, I'm editing, your family members, your employees, whatever, they can all work together in their accounts and play around with it. And you know who edited what, it'll be easy to manage thereafter, okay? That's the other thing here. Now, just to understand the power of it, right? Every application out there which does AI website design, you can go to all of them. You can go to Google, be my guest, right? And that's the frustration. That's why we spent 2 years on this ClickSites to get it to where it is, build it from the ground up, keeping in mind this focus, right? Which is none of them have 500 workspaces. They'll have 3, 4, 5. None of them have the ability to put 500 custom domains. They'll say 1 domain, 2 domains, maybe 3 or 4, right? That too with a subscription, by the way. None of them will come with a white label account. They'll say white label why? Why should we give you, right? None of them have that, right? And the few which do have team accounts, they are all basically, at the end of the day, designed to basically charge you a lot of money every month, right? So just understand that this was built from the ground up, keeping in mind that we want to focus on people who want to build multiple revenue streams with ClickSites, which is either you sell the website design services, you do it for your own personal or your own commercial usage, or you want to even, for that matter, manage businesses from the platform, right? Add domains and edit the websites and add multiple pages and stuff and charge people money, charge businesses money for that service, right? Or let's say you want to even, for that matter, sell the application with your own branding, right? Remember I showed you that example just now where you can put your own branding to the application like this here. See, instead of going to app.clicksite.ai, your customers will go to app.yourdomain.com and you can put your own logo like this, like what you see here, right? This all is in the infrastructure, right? So that way what happens is that as you grow your business, we will help you every step of the way. And it has multiple ways for you to actually, get your investment and grow your business and all that kind of stuff, right? And that's how we built it. So in other words, like if you compare, right? It's very difficult to compare with platforms like a Wix or some of these other platforms out there, right? Because they are designed for like, okay, you want to design for a business, go buy another subscription for them. Oh, you want to basically build a website for the business, have them buy the other subscription. Oh, you want to manage some businesses under one or under multiple organizations, we'll give you five, we'll give you three, right? We'll throw some at you, right? We'll throw a bone, right? But at the end of the day, it doesn't help you scale up, because even if, right, this is the other problem. Even if you get, like I'll show you, right? It's better to show you than tell you, they say, right? Even if you get all this stuff, right? Let me actually go in here real quick here. Even if you get like what you want, right, from these platforms, the problem here is this. Like, let me open this up real quick here. Like, even if you get some of these platforms, and this is just an example, right? I mean, you can go get it if you want, that's fine. The problem here is that even if you use only 2 out of these websites here, right, out of 5, the problem is that every month they'll bill you for the 5 regardless. This is the problem. You see what I'm saying? Like, even if you do everything correct, right? You're like, okay, I'm good. I have 2 clients I got, right? And they stop paying you from month 4 or 5. At the end of the day, you still have to keep paying, right? For the other 5. And here's the other thing. That was the other question that came in, Paul. Okay, I got clients. I have 500. That's awesome. I'm seeing the value of it, right? Like, I have 500 I can build, like businesses like this. What happens if this barber shop no longer wants to be a client of mine? What happens to the limit at 500? Well, you just delete them and you have 500 more. Like, everything is a workspace, right? Like, you go to Workspace, right? You see these workspaces, delete this, you see this delete button or archive, whatever, that opens up another spot for you. So as long as clients are paying you, as they should, you can maintain it. You delete it, that opens up the other spot. So you have enough, right? Enough of it available. So it's all good, right? So you should be good to go. So that's the basic idea, right? Is that cool? And that's, no platform can do that for any price. I mean, any price. You can go out there, you can search Be My Guest, right? Because this platform was built out of the frustration that I've seen other platforms do, because at the end of the day, they're not designed from the ground up, keeping in mind the ability for you to grow around it, right? And that's what we've built throughout the process. It's pretty crazy if you think about it, the value you're getting, right? Like, we could have priced it a lot higher and made a lot more money actually, but I wanted to give it in the hands of everybody, which is the reason why you're getting the 7-day free trial, to test it out for yourself, right? And by the way, the timer is 0. The prices has already gone up or should be going up in the next few seconds. So if you are doing, go in, jump in right away. Okay, this is the time. Because I think if I refresh the page, it will go up the price already. Okay, so just keep in mind, okay, because the timer says 0 now, that means the price already went up, or I think it's gonna in a few seconds. They'll be changing it behind the scenes. Okay, so this is your time to get it. Okay, so yeah, I'm seeing it. Some great comments here, right? Love the idea of it so much. Appreciate that, right? Took a long time. We could have rushed it, released it 2 years ago, which is when this AI stuff was hot, right? With ChatGPT and stuff, right? But we wanted to do it correctly. Might as well do it right the first time, right? The last thing you want is you build it and then you forget using it because there's no real use case. Like, you want to sell it to clients. How are you going to do it? Like, how are you going to sell to clients when you don't have that many workspaces to work with, right? You only have 2 or 3 or 1 even. You only have 1 domain name. How are you going to develop sites for a client who has their own domain name, right? If they have team members or you have employees and team members, how are you going to do it without the collaboration feature? Secondly, even with the white label, right? Like, if you have a client, and this is the use case, right? Very common. A lot of businesses will be like, hey, I have a web designer in house, right? Or, hey, my secretary or assistant designed my website and she edits it. Can you, instead of like building the website, can you show us how you build the website with AI, and then we'll pay you money for it? And then thereafter, our assistant will develop it further, right? Or make changes. That's the other huge thing. People pay a lot of money for that, for the license, because as I mentioned, they can either go to Wix, they can go to some of these other platforms, pay huge $95 a month, or they can buy from you for a cheaper, better, faster solution. Easy, right? Straightforward system. So that's how I want you to look at it, okay? That's how I want you to play around. And the fact that they can download it, right, at any point, this right here, you can download every single business or every single website. That means effectively, if that person says, look, bring it to my hosting, then I'll pay you, because I don't want to deal with any other your hosting, because there's trust issues sometimes too, some industries especially. So you just download and give it to them, right? And you can charge them money for it, and they will do whatever editing they want if they want to, or they can pay you money for the editing, because every time you do edits, you can download it and send them the edited file anyways, right? That's the other thing, which can give you the portability, flexibility, and customization, right? So powerful. So if you haven't already, I mean, get it. If you're still in doubt, I like it, but it would be good if I could try it out. Hey, try the 7-day free trial. No hard feelings. You can cancel anytime. In fact, it comes with a 30-day money back guarantee on top of that. So what do you got to lose, right? Nothing to lose here. Okay. All right. So and that said, okay, in order to make this a crisp event so people can watch the replay later on as well, we'll be closing this down. Watch out for other emails. Watch out for our Facebook group, okay? So you see the group here. We have our group there and our Facebook group. So go to our Facebook group and check it out, okay? Because we have a ton of stuff happening in our group all the time. You see this? This is a group. Keep adding constantly stuff. Watch out for the training sessions here and join our Facebook group. Also, watch out for our emails for other training sessions coming up shortly. We have a lot of other stuff coming up soon as well. And right, and also the other thing is I'm gonna announce one winner. Just to keep things fun, they'll get basically a free copy just for attending this live stream. While I get the team to send that winner over to Ali, if you're seeing any questions, you want to do any last things you want to comment over, I'll share the screen over to you. You can go ahead. I'll pick the winner and then we'll close this event down.
Yeah, Janico came out with a really good question saying, how do the subdomains hosted? Let's have a look. So how do those subdomain hosted pages sites show up to the public? If we're using, I would imagine that's white labeling. How do they show up in public? So now with normal pages as you're using them, if you're using just subdomain names, then obviously it's going to have like, let's just say, for example, click sites AI. Okay. Now you do have the option if you want to make them more custom for general pages, then you can have your custom domain name. Because this I guess this was another question that you've got the ability where we will host your custom domain names where you point them. Okay, that's a 500 limit. However, using the subdomain names, you can make unlimited pages. So it would be like ali.click pages, click sites. Okay. Unlimited number of pages. Now, when it comes to the white label, if you want your own domain name, when you put your own hosting on it as well, you can have your own domain name. So when it's shown to the public, it's whatever domain name that you designate to it. Is that clear? So it's not going to be showing up at click sites. Once you have it up and running on your own server hosted, you can have your own domain name, and that's it. It's nice and clean, and it doesn't show anything else as another name, and they think, oh, you're using click sites AI. So it's nice and clean and tidy, and you can have your own domain name and set it up like so. So hopefully that answers your question. Now, next, can you add a pop-up widget? Ideally, generally, there's a lot of widgets generally are kind of like old school or WordPress related, and with WordPress it has a lot of security features, many issues with it, constant plugin updates, etc., etc. Now, depending on what kind of widget that you're looking for, like if it's a pop-up in terms of a chatbot or some kind of like maybe webinar widget or some kind of a third-party widget. Generally, a lot of these third-party apps will give you an embeddable HTML code that you can then come and embed onto ClickSites AI. So you're not limited. So we don't need to specifically put one widget in ClickSites AI, because then you'll be like, what widget would you want to put? Because then that's more features, that's more coding, and more teams involved, and that would just only mean the price would have to go up, because it wouldn't make sense, because already it's a low cost of $168. So it's up to you. We can add even more stuff that you don't need, but then we would have to put the price up. So everything that is there right now, you're going to be locked in for that price. You're not going to expect some unexpected monthly or yearly maintenance updates, and you got to pay this, you got to pay credits. None of that stuff. You're getting everything already. And plus, with all these third-party apps, a lot of them do have HTML embed codes anyway. So whether you want to do your e-commerce style embed codes for checkouts, or maybe you've got digital products, you have those fulfillment pages, checkout pages, payment links, you can do all of that by simply using those options we have available. So do you guys demo countdown timers? No, we don't. But again, you can go online and you could Google this. Actually, most places on Google you can actually now create countdown timers completely free of charge and get the embed code and come and paste it inside ClickSites AI. So let's quickly have a look. So say for example, I went into the page. That's a good question. That is a very good question, especially when it comes to either widgets or embed codes or countdown timers. If you want to build that kind of countdown, like some you can just simply come to your website. If you got maybe you're doing a promotional event, some of the key things you got to remember right now. I guess this will kind of link in as well what we're talking about getting clients. Right now, you've got Halloween coming up, then you've got Guy Fawkes in a fireworks night. I don't know if you got that in the States, and then you got a Christmas. So these are the times now I would seriously urge you, are the times that you can really monetize websites for these special occasions. So you could create special occasion websites or one-page websites or even promotional material for products. So you'll see there will be abundance of products coming for even Halloween. You know, you've got these Halloween costumes, masks. It's very niche specific, but they sell well, especially for this limited period. You've got more pressure to actually sell more. And then you've got Christmas coming up. So you've got all of these holiday seasons, and I'm pretty sure in the US you'll have more holiday seasons that you could actually, kind of leverage. Okay, because you have ClickSites AI essentially. So if I come here now, let's just say if I want to put countdown timer here, let's have a look. Where would I want to put it? It depends on the section. Okay. So what we could do, let's have a look. We could come in the HTML section here. We could simply put it wherever we needed to put it. Okay, simple as that. And depending if I want to come somewhere else here, if I wanted to come here, I could just put I could come put the code here as well. So I've got a choice. Okay, and I would embed that, and that's it. You are good to go. Right, and we can add that to the left or right, whatever it may be. So you get the gist of it. So you're not restricted. You're not going to be restricted. You have full capabilities. It depends because there's so many third party apps there. Maybe you're podcasting. Maybe you've got some RSS feed and things like that. Maybe any kind of syndication app that you've got out there. So the moment you create a blog post within here, maybe you can syndicate. There's an embed code where you place your post somewhere else. Then it syndicates a third party app, and then it creates audio, video, and etc. etc. So there's loads of automations you can do. So you're welcome, Kim. So just remember, there's a payment now. It's gone to $169 single payment. There's no upsell, so that's the key thing. There's completely no upsells whatsoever. You're not going to be bombarded with an array of upsells that kind of.
So we did warn you. We did warn you. The price is going to go up. It did go up, and the next price increases again soon. So every time you check it, it's the lowest possible price you're going to get it for, right? And so just don't miss that. It's a small price increase still. We're going to be, again, the big ones are coming soon. And more importantly, we'll be closing down the ability for you to get the white label accounting clear. That's going to be an upsell for $29 a month. Workspaces as well. We're going to be removing that option once we close down this early bird deal. We want to give you the best deal possible, right? That's the goal. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you folks 10 seconds to comment in the chat box if you enjoyed the training so far, you like this format. What we're doing is just randomly, your odds of winning are higher. We're going to pick one person from anybody, even if they came for 2 minutes earlier on. My team is randomly picking a number. We'll just check the comment number from there, and then we'll basically announce the winner. So in 10 seconds is the winner, okay? So if you enjoy this, let us know if your odds of winning are higher, I guess. I don't know. The team is picking it, so who knows? Anyway, so let's see here. Team is sending it over. Okay, excellent. I'm seeing a lot of comments coming in. Great, great, great. Awesome. All right. And the other thing, while I'm announcing it, every time we do lives, there's some winner or some prize we give away. Okay, every time, so that you're not only learning, you're also having a lot of fun. You're learning new things, and also it's fun to interact and basically grow your business along the way. Be motivated as well, and get to win some prizes as well. It's fun, right, all along. So that's the time you're spending with us here. It's very valuable for you in a sense that you're getting more momentum and more improvement in how you're doing things, right, every single day. Okay, and this is just the start. We have more training sessions, and as I said, every training session there'll be a winner announced to keep things fun and also reward you as well for being here, right? Just the odds of winning are higher because as more training sessions happen, the new winners announced almost every single time, right? Which is fun. More than that, the training itself is very valuable. Okay, let's see here. 2 more seconds. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, excellent. Okay, the team is just sending me the winner now. Let me see here. Okay, I have the winner here. Let me find the person just so you folks know it's real. That's the one thing. Announcing winner is okay, but is this person a real person or not, right? Okay, so let's see here. Okay, excellent. All right. Let's see the winner here. Okay, congrats to. Here we go. Who is the winner? Okay, and just don't look at the price. The price went up, so this is wrong info. This price went up, and I think this one's also gone up. But anyway, this is so okay. Here's the winner. All right, the winner is, congrats to. Here we go. To find took some time. Donald McClellan. Paul is me, but Donald McClellan. All right, so Donald, you are our winner. Let me note you down here. We'll be getting in touch. So you want a free copy, Donald? We'll be getting in touch with you. Congratulations. So whether you got in, didn't get in, whatever, effectively you get ClickSites the account for free just for showing up. Right? Pretty cool. My team and I will be getting in touch with you. You don't have to get in touch with us. Should be in the next shortly, today or tomorrow morning for sure. Congrats to you. Hey, it pays to come live, eh? You know what they say, early bird gets the worm. Early people who show up to these live streams also get to win, right? Just fun. We have another training session coming up as well soon, probably tomorrow, covering another topic we've been wanting to do. We'll see, watch out for our email, and also be in our Facebook group. Will be notified. So congrats to you, Donald. Great to have you win as well. New winners announced every time we go live, as I mentioned. So Ali, if you're seeing any last pressing questions, let us know. If not, we'll be ending today's live stream to keep it crisp and you folks can reference back. And as I mentioned to you, as we do the training sessions, it's going to be more focused on you, interactivity with you. If that requires us to do 30 minutes, we'll do 30 minutes. If you keep getting questions and keep answering them to give you more value, we'll go longer than that. The goal is to give you value, right? Because the idea is that everybody is in a different stage and different level. We want to bring everybody to equal footing so that at the end of the day, when we teach you the more advanced stuff, so to speak, or stuff at the higher level, it'll be easy for you to implement and go there. So that's not like something out of your reach, right? The only way we do that is we interact with you, teach you, help you, and drag you to the finish line if that's what it takes. You know what I mean? So that's the goal here. All right, so Ali, I'll let you take the floor here.
Okay, everyone. So just a quick couple of things. Just remember, maybe you've already got ClickSites, maybe you haven't, but some of the key things that are great additions. Remember, we've got now probably over 40 brand new languages, okay, that you can use. And especially if you're getting clients now, you're not just limited. That's one key thing. Remember, you're not limited now just to native English-speaking countries. That's one thing. Secondly, remember now we have the ability to actually add the canvas settings, so you can actually have free reign, free design to actually make your pages as you want. Move it around anywhere, and it's also mobile optimized across a number of different devices, so you're not limited or restricted. It's going to save you a lot of time, and it's going to boost those revenues for you. Another key thing is remember, there's a brand new update that's happened. You now have the AI assistant that will actually help you with the images. Okay, so you can actually now have speech to text. You can actually dictate and let the assistant know by literally not typing whatsoever, and you can actually have those images created on the fly using the AI assistant. So there's quite a huge number of things that are being implemented, and the key here is to let you know that even though, say for example, if there's something that a feature that you would love or you would like, please let us know. Don't hesitate to get in touch. Let support know, and that will be added to a roadmap. We can definitely have a look at that, and that can be implemented at some point. Okay, so these things go a long way. So you might be something that you may have an idea that could be really, really good, but not say anything. So, it's about working together, because if you know by now, you may be part of that Facebook group, and I can't stress to you enough, you need to make sure you're part of that group. Why? It's a huge community of over 50,000 people that are essentially just like you. You being here right now, as cliche as it sounds, they will resonate just like you. You may be on a journey. Some of you may be further on that journey, but it's a community of people that are helping one another to do better, right? To build their business, to get that success, to take that first step. And it will help you, give you that confidence, that support that you need, that you may not get in your household. Unfortunately, it's true. Okay, you may be at home and your family saying, what you're doing, sitting on the computer. You need to get off the computer because it's not a real job. You'll hear all of this stuff, all of this this negative input. So go in and make sure that you do add yourself into the group if you're not already. If you don't know what the group is, I'm pretty sure you can contact support, but you may have seen the link somewhere, or contact support will give you that directly, or it may even be in the platform. I'm not sure on that. I don't think it is, but that's a community you need to be a part of. Like anybody, you become who you surround yourself with. So if you want to be successful, if you want like-minded people around you that are going to support you, going to help you, that are going to give you advice, if you've got any questions, if you need any direction, any help, if you want people that actually care about you moving forward, that's the reason why we've been on here for more than 3 hours, right? Otherwise, there's no other point. We would have just quickly, come in, oh yeah, just bye, and we'll just disappear, We'll just disappear. I'm pretty sure Paul will disappear, go on the beach, put his feet up and have a martini. But it's not like that. I wish it was. Okay, so I can't stress that enough. Make sure you join that group. It's a community, thriving community, over 50,000 people, where even after the event, a lot of people are sharing the websites design. Come and show us what you're doing. Show us the sites that you're building. Show us maybe ways that you've improved in doing certain things that you can share with other members, how maybe they can speed up the process themselves. So that's all I'm going to say. Any other questions, let us know in the chat box. Whether we answer them now, but pretty later on, our team will be reviewing them, and even on the next session or via the tutorials or Q&As and FAQs, we can add those into those. So nothing ultimately will get missed. But for whatever reason, if you got a problem through checkout, maybe you having a banking issue, whatever it may be, please don't hesitate to contact support. Okay. Let's see if we can get that address up just to make sure. So can you see that the price has gone up there? So ignore that, but support@clicksites.ai. Okay, contact support. Let us know if you've had an issue that you're trying to get fixed with your bank, whatever it may be, so we can lock that price in for the lowest possible. Now, if you have anything else that you're getting stuck, maybe need help with something, the support team is there to assist you and just to make sure you have an amazing experience with us. Maybe you try this for a couple of days, great. Maybe it's not for you, that's fine, but it's about building a relationship with you. We're not here just to trying to say bye. No, it's about building a long-term relationship with you, and that's why we care. Yeah, many people say, yeah, we care. That's why we're on here. We're trying to do the best that we can to answer all of your questions, to feel that you're getting listened to. That's the worst thing that can happen. I've been there myself, where sometimes you're stuck on something, you don't get the support. Sometimes it's just nice to have somebody on the other side of a call like this that's actually paying attention, that's actually trying to answer your questions. And hey, look, sometimes we might not have your questions, but we have an amazing team. We've got an amazing team of developers as well, and we can find those answers for you and make sure you get the answers that you need. So apart from that, I guess it's been emotional. But if you have one last question, I'm sure we can actually answer that before we do conclude. Otherwise, I think Paul's got some emergency appointments going on. He doesn't really. He's busy. He's a busy man. So yeah, let us know in the chat box. Just give us some great information. Let the team know, because there's so many people behind the scene. Have you enjoyed today? And I think we'll probably conclude from that. Just let us know. Come on. The more energy you give us, the more energy we get excited. And I'm pretty sure next time, if you give enough energy, then I'm sure he'll give even more prizes away, because the money's coming out of Paul's pocket. So the more you push, the more you pay out.
Go ahead. Yeah. You want my wallet too? My wallet too? Take it. No, just kidding. All right.
Zara's on it. Yeah.
It's all good jest. It's all fun. Yeah, no worries. All right. So that's it, folks. If any questions, let us know in our support team as well. Sometimes, right, live streams are harder to answer some questions because we need to go check into your campaign, your website, your code, whatever. It takes a little bit more troubleshooting. So if that's something we couldn't get to here today, just let us know in support@clicksites.ai. I'll be happy to assist you. That said, watch out for the next training sessions. We should be doing one more tomorrow as well. Slightly different topic to what we covered today. So watch out for that, just to keep things fun. And even whether you got ClickSites or didn't get ClickSites, always good to join in on this, because you'll always keep learning new things, and all the replays will be up in the members area as well. Okay, so that said, take care, good luck. We'll talk to you very soon. Watch out for other training sessions.